Tonight on Top Goon, Scotteh compares apples to oranges.
So I guess it's basically the same thing.
Seething tells us about his latest trip to Alton Towers.
It was a roller coaster, man. It was a proper roller coaster.
Obnot questions OG's latest plan to sell pictures of Time Twister in a French-made outfit.
Perfectly legal. Was Time Twister up for this?
And someone tries to tell me that I've had enough to drink. No, I'm not having this. I don't know where you got these numbers from, but it's slander at this point. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Top Goon. All right, well, hello and welcome to the special GFG episode of Top Goon. I'm joined tonight, as you can already see, by Scotteh.
Hello there, everybody.
Scotteh, who's about to be beamed up out his window, possibly by either heavenly bodies or aliens. I'm not sure which.
Probably ascend to heaven after the amount of alcohol I had last night. So yeah, let's just hope we survive long enough to recap the tournament fully, and then maybe the cast for the final. And then I can ascend.
Did you manage to have a nap? I know you said after this afternoon's game or the midday game, you were going for a nap.
I didn't, honestly. I lay down and I started to feel worse, so I thought, no, I got to keep doing something. So I was just sort of ambling about, trying not to feel awful. But we're here, and I'm feeling much better now than I think I did during the cast. So we're good to go.
Well, there we go.
Good to go on that one.
Onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards. What was it? Was it just not enough sleep, too much alcohol, mixture of both?
Yeah, a mixture of both. 5 a.m. bedtime, and just a lot of alcohol, and that is a mixture that I'm sure anyone who's done that sort of combo knows how that feels the next day. But there we go.
I'm guessing you won't even want to look at this then. I've got a lovely Erdinger. What is this? An Erdinger Vivis? I don't even know how to say it. I was in the shops. There was a bunch of German beer. It's apparently a Bavarian double maturity method. Wow.
Okay. I mean, is that like is that spherical sort of? It's German beer, isn't that where spherical based? Is this your hint at what you might be favouring for tonight?
I don't know. I think I want to remain unbiased for the most part, but I could be accused of being a fairly devout sitter.
We are sat right now as well, so there you go.
Sitters versus spheres coming tonight, yeah.
Exactly.
Are they the official names for the fans of each team?
Yeah, I don't know actually. I don't know if anyone's ever. Maybe that's something we can ask a bit later on.
Ask if they've got any. I mean, do you have any other options? I think
sitters. Outers would be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Outers sounds like you go around sort of telling people's parents that they're gay. Not that the parents are gay, that the child. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for spherical, I can't think of the balls. The ballers?
The balls is pretty good actually. I think it's orbs, isn't it? Or they do
the orbs, yeah.
COYS or whatever. The old come on you spheres or something.
Come on you spherical. I've always just read that as coys. I have wondered why everyone's been in chat shouting coys. So
I think it's also like Spurs, isn't it? The football team, like Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur is come on you Spurs or something. So I don't know if there's a little bit of that going on there. But yeah, here you go in the chat already.
Coys in chat now. Yeah, where are the sit out fans? Come on, this is it's unreasonable.
This is the balance because we're sat down, I guess. That's it.
Nobody picked up the copy pasta from the other night's game. I worked hard with ChatGPT to come up with that. And I worked hard on my own to correct all the ChatGPT's mistakes, all the crap, and get it down to the 500 character limit that I didn't know was on a Twitch message.
Yeah, I mean, I find it interesting because like when I'm trying to cast, sometimes it's like we dip in and out of chat quite a lot to help us like understand what the hell's going on most of the time. And then every now and then there's just a wall of spam, and I'm like, okay, cool. Everyone's locked in, everyone's engaged, we know what's up.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Good one.
We've got I was gonna say action packed. It's probably not action packed. It's packed. It's definitely packed. I'm just not sure about I don't know if you can call stats and match analysis action. There will be some action though. We have an exhibition match coming up later, and we will be going through all the stats and all the info that we have to work out who's the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and who's just somewhere in the middle, or who got railroaded by their team and died a lot, and it wasn't their fault at all. Yeah, could be anyone. We also are going to be interviewing the two captains, or shall I say the captain and the admiral, ahead of tonight's grand final. And then I believe Obnot's joining us to give out some special awards. Just for performances with it throughout the tournament. I have no idea what they're going to be. It could be best player and worst player, or it could be who Obnot thinks has the sexiest skins.
Yeah, I haven't found out any information about that either. So
nice
yeah,
to know. We're all going in blind. He has
all blind on that one.
I think he sent me a presentation, but I haven't looked at it yet. So yeah, I don't want the spoilers. And yeah, so we'll be leading you all the way up to tonight's grand final at 8 o'clock. Is it still 8 o'clock? I know
Does it ever get confirmed? I need to have a look at that, actually. I probably should have done my tournament organizer role here.
I feel like I'm just going to say it's 8 now. I'm going to confirm it myself. If the teams don't like it, then...
I think the teams are also in chat, right? So they can hopefully let us know that that's when it's going to happen. But if not, I'm sure we can find some things to waffle about for an extra half an hour.
We can find it.
So
I possibly have a bonus segment I've inquired about but not heard back yet. So yeah, maybe that'll fill the time. Who knows?
Sounds pretty good.
If you do see me at any point just sort of trying to type, or like, you hear my keyboard or I'm tabbing around with things, I'm very sorry. Unfortunately, this is a bit of it's a two-man show, but I end up having to do all the production and the directing while co-hosting. So I apologize for that in advance, but that is just the case that it is. But yeah, it's been an exciting tournament so far, I think.
Yeah, I've been really pleased with how close the games have been, actually. When we get into the stats, we can look a bit more at sort of game lengths and average, things like that. But yeah, last year when we ran it the first time, there was a bit of a disparity. I think there were 2 top teams and then like 4 at the bottom. But this year, actually, teams taking games off of each other all the time. Really exciting tournament, and I think, yeah, just really happy overall with how it's gone. So yeah, really pleased.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say, if you look at the leaderboard, there are obviously some standout teams, always going to be the case, but it tapers its way down. It doesn't just go like 2 or 3 teams who have won all of their games and lost none, and then straight into everybody else being kind of useless. It's everybody's got some wins under their belt, and yeah, I mean, you say taking games off other teams. I mean, your team themselves, nicknamed the Kingslayers, taking a game off. Was it game off Spherical that you did? Or was it was Gubcord, I think.
And yeah, Gubcord and Sit Out. We took a game each of them. Spherical won. King too far, I guess, if you could say, for the King's players. We don't run out of steam, I guess, by that point. Last series of the tournament, it's like, oh, we're tired. we're tired now. But yeah, no, very good.
Am I right? That secured them their spot in the grand final, kept them out of top 2, or sorry, kept them out of top 3 and top 1.
Yeah, that was part of my consideration for. I don't know if, with the skill disparity that the 2 teams have, I don't think we would have been able to take more than a game off of them at best. But if we'd have 2-0'd them, they would have gone into a 3-way tie. And from a tournament organizer's point of view, I was like, I will probably just GG out of the game, so that we don't have to do some kind of weird tiebreaker. And it kind of worked out in the end, because Gubcord and Sit Out were on the same score, and then they didn't have to do a tiebreaker because they can just play each other in the end. So that worked out quite nicely eventually.
Yeah, I know at one point on FGF, I think we were going into our game possibly against Sit Out, and I said to the guys, let's just have some fun, because for us to make it into the top 3 at this point, I believe we had to 2-0 the rest of our games, and you had to 2-0 the rest of your games on GFG just to knock, I think, Spherical and Sit Out down a bit. And I was like, it's definitely a long shot at this point, I think, for all of that to fall into place.
Yeah, and I think the fact that if we'd have 2-0'd all of our games, we probably would have still jumped ahead of you anyway. So even if we'd done you the favor, we would have then, I think, because I think our only route in was to 4-0, like Sit Out and Spherical like back to back. It's like, I don't think that's going to happen somehow. Still amazed we took a game in the end anyway.
I definitely didn't click the wrong thing. I didn't click on the channel. I clicked on the
I've gone.
Hang
Oh
on,
no.
I'm trying to get you back. How do I? Don't show on video. But there you go. You're back. I was like, oh, I should probably pull up the standings for the teams, and we'll have a bit of a run through the leaderboard. These haven't been updated, have they?
Oh no, yeah. I could do that now quickly.
Oh yeah, you go on. I'll let you do that. We'll do things on the fly. Yeah, apologies for that. I do have Scotty coming on through the Discord, so when I click the wrong thing, it doesn't go great. But to run you through the things that haven't changed at the moment, so we've got Spherical here. Top of the leaderboard. They've had a great run. 10-2 for series. 4 wins, 2 draws, no losses. So then just below that, is this now the updated version?
No,
sorry. I had a message from somebody and I got myself confused.
Currently filling
thought it out. But so yeah, completely, technically not undefeated, but very close too. I mean, only with the 2 draws, technically never lost a series. Next up, we did have in joint second place Gubcord Dota Division and Team Sit-Out, who then went head-to-head in the final on Friday night, with Sit-Out coming out victorious on that one. So they are now on... Is it? No, that isn't updated in here. Who did Gubcord
how
lose
far
to?
back did I not update it? I'm sending something over now, which I
it's
think
all right.
is
You
correct.
were missing the best of 3 from Friday, but you don't need that. So I think you just need to update the game from today. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Because that means everybody has 12 games, which is the correct amount.
Yeah, so it's just your match today,
You
which I
have
think
indeed
puts you
sent
back
it to
up
me.
to 5th ahead of us. So we were as biased. It was the most biased cast we probably ever done, actually. Today, because GFG were secretly hoping that Bernard would be able to pull out a game against you to keep 5th place, but alas, it was not quite the.
I mean, hey, I get it, to be honest. Like, you know, I totally understand the bias, but sadly not. I mean, I feel for them on that one because it was 1/5 of Burn having been not available, but having been present for the match. So not.
I think they did
best.
really well considering, honestly. Like, it's like a group of cobbled together lads.
Yeah.
Fair play, honestly. Fair play. Yeah.
So taking a look at the final standings here, as I said, we had Spherical. Who did Gubcord lose a game to? I'm guessing Spherical.
So they got 2-0'd by Spherical, and they dropped 1 game to us and 1 game to Sit-Out, I think.
Yeah, because the draws are making sense. So then we got Sit-Out, who did win that best of 3, are now going to be heading through to the grand final tonight up against Spherical. That felt like a close game as well. I watched sort of all 3 of those. I mean, you were casting them, so...
Yeah, no, that was a really good series. It was nice to have it go to a game 3. When in the first game, when Obst was standing in and absolutely demolishing Sit-Out with the Kunkka, I thought, oh no, are we in for like the Obst show? And then he gets to play against the team he's just helped to the final.
Hey, you don't even remind me about that. I lost 7.3k beans on that, betting on Sit-Out in game 1.
Yeah.
People then say, why are there no bets on Sit-Out for the like game 2 or 3? And I'm like, because all my beans are gone, mate. I put all my beans in one bowl and
I think it took until game 3 for anyone to win any beans. In game 1, I think everybody put on Sit-Out. Game 2, everyone put on GCDD, and so everybody just lost beans. There was just a lot of mass loss of beans for the first 2 games, and then game 3, somebody finally actually bet on the winner and acquired some more beans. So there you go.
The bean economy is in struggle.
You know, it's
it's a catastrophe.
there's a lack of beans going around right now. So there you go. But yeah, no, it was a close series, and I think all 3 games were quite nail biting at different times as well. So yeah, was absolutely great, and I think both teams would have been deserving of that final slot. But yeah, just a reverse sweep from Sit-Out was really good to see.
So then following up out of the top 3 now, so these are the guys that didn't make it to the playoffs. We've got OGs in 4th place with 6 games to 6. Not even just 6 games to 6. 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. It could have been 6 draws, but just the 2-2-2, they hit it absolutely even on everything. It's kind of
literally right
impressive
down the
to be
middle.
honest. Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen a very varied performance from OGs across like in different games. I know
Yeah, there's some crazy games they played. Obviously, I think the series against you're against FGF, where
it was don't remind me.
that was one of the draws. Oh, sorry.
That
that was
that
yeah.
top Radiant melee racks haunts my dreams. Like I can see it right now. I can see Vidi standing next to it. You don't understand the pain. Oh.
That was a great game to cast as well. Both those games in that series. It was one of the best series of the tournament. I think.
They were
Obviously,
so close.
like both games were really, really close.
It was
but
rough.
yeah, that top racks just hit them.
It was rough
Vidi
coming
just
out
hit
the
it.
back of that because we'd won the first game and that felt amazing, and then to lose the second one, you feel completely demoralized. And also, we really wanted the 2-0 there, and but they felt great because they'd made the comeback and won a game. So they came out of that game so jubilant, and I remember the interviews and stuff, and I was just like, I want to curl up in a ball and cry. Like, it was devastating. Even though we'd had the exact same outcome, basically. We both won a game, we both lost a game. Just the difference in whether you do it first or second.
Yeah, exactly. It's similar for us with GCDD when we played against them. We obviously won the first game, and we completely took ourselves by surprise a little bit by how we kind of played, and it's kind of like everything just went right. And then
Yeah.
game two, naturally they came back. We kind of had a good start in that game too, and we were like, "Is this happening? Are we doing it?" And then it like fell off a cliff so hard that like I think after that game we were happy still, obviously that we had won a game, but
Yeah.
we were a little bit like like you say, it's not as nice after a loss, even if it's in the game too.
Yeah.
When even when you're not expecting to take a game. So yeah, no, that series and OGs in general actually, yeah, been very balanced. I mean, they 2-0'd us, but then they must have lost to Spherical, I want to say, or no, they drew with Spherical. I think that's one of Spherical's draws.
I want to say they lost to Sit Out. I think I stood in that game. Well, that series.
Were you standing in for OGs or?
Oh, I stood in for Catastrophe on Sit Out.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, played into OGs. It was fun games, actually, if I remember rightly. Yeah, I mean, I think with OGs, we've seen a variation in drafting as well. Larry usually drafting, and then Pivo has taken at least one, possibly others, because I definitely was ready for a Larry draft. And then what came at us in that second game is what I have coined the Pivo Chaos draft.
Yeah.
And I
Did
almost
you
feel
see his diagram after the game?
Oh yeah, I watched the interview, and the best bit of that is it was absolute. Well, it was chaos. So I didn't know what was going where, what was coming at us. It was madness. It had an offlane Spectre.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but it's the fact that it wasn't going well for them at all. And in the early game, and I believe his team can be quoted saying that Pivo said he didn't want to hear anything but I think it was it "Oh yeah" or "I'm dead."
Basically,
it's something along those lines. He wanted nothing but positivity or information. Like,
yeah, that's it. No other information required. Yeah, I think there was definitely at the start of the game a lot of potential for tilt, I would say, on OGs, but when it eventually works somehow, and I'm still not really sure. I cast that game. I'm still not really sure how it worked and happened.
I don't know if OGs are sure.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I think OGs are a team in general of when it works, and when it doesn't, it really doesn't. And that's kind of maybe the issue of why they then hit the evens. I apologize. I've just got a ping for something. People inviting me to games. Enjoy the look back into my.
Oh, you got a lot open there. That's,
always do. Right, where the fuck are we? We're back here. Okay. And I'm just gonna put this into streaming mode. So, do you want to kick off about FGF? I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a really. I feel like you grew into the tournament, didn't you? Like FGF, it felt at the start like it was a bit of, obviously, because you cobbled together some lads to play.
Yeah.
It was like trying to get a bit more of an understanding of how you guys are gonna play together. But then I think you played against us, and you obviously picked up that win. And I think from there you were getting better and better. And I think we had an interview after maybe your OGs game anyway, and we spoke a bit, or maybe it was a sit out one, and you were
There's
saying
many.
a bit about how you would want to obviously have like a more of a playoff because you feel like now you're getting the momentum to keep
Yeah.
going, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
I can see that as well, how you're playing, and you know, you then eventually drew like 3 different series as well, OG, sit out, and us. So
Yeah, I think definitely when we it's the same for Bernard. So I kind of have said this to my guys as well, is there, you know, out of the 7 teams, 2 of them are new, the rest are established teams that have, you know, already been around for a little while. I think coming into this I was like, you know, I could just try and bring in Halo 3 on the back of GTI, as we were pretty happy together, pretty good going. And then but it was a case of I felt like everybody had ranked up a lot at that point, and it didn't feel fair, and I wasn't going to try and get anything by anyone, and I didn't really want to rejig the roster or anything. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. We'll count this separate. I'm going to form a new team of lads. We're going to enter afresh. And I was like, oh, there's a few guys here sort of in the looking for team stuff. And I went, oh, it's Psychovert being allowed to play. Okay, fair enough. Like, I'll grab Psychovert because I don't know if he knows too many other people who are playing. And then I had Tim because I play with Tim a lot. So I was like, you know what, let's let Tim play. And then I saw Vidi was looking for a team, and I thought, can I do this? Can I put them both in the same team? Because Vidi had trouble getting into a GTI team because there wasn't anyone bad enough on the teams to balance him out down the bottom end. So we ended up with a Herald, a low Guardian's below Crusader, isn't it? Yeah, a low Guardian, yeah. And me on like absolutely on the average Archon 3, and then 2 technically Divine 1 players. Yeah, and it was interesting. It was interesting. Our first series was rough, definitely rough. I think Yuhu was getting sick. He'd taken some medication. I don't know how strong the medication was, but he apologized afterwards, saying that he thought it had maybe sort of impacted him a bit. And that it's the most sort of outgoing and loud I have ever had Yuhu be in a game of Dota was those 2 games that we played. It took some gelling, yeah. But we had the same thing in GTI where you play the group stage. Our group stage was awful. You go into the playoffs, and then you kind of like, you start to work things out. You rejig your team, you move people to different places, and you kind of get a feel for each other. And it, yeah, so it's a little bit good. I totally understand why you've gone with the format that you have for this. And I think it works out nicely, and it's going to wrap everything up in a neat bow. But for those of us in the new teams, I do feel, I mean, even Bernard, I think, were improving as the tournament went on. Disregarding today's game as, you know, 80% of Bernard weren't there.
I did actually wonder whether the last group stage game would be after the final at a certain point. Whether that would be like something that could happen.
I was adamant I wanted to make sure it was done before this show, to be honest. So.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, no, I think you guys really. I mean, Vidi has had a tournament to be fair. Definitely one of like at the top end of like some of the games today was absolutely popping off in both of those. And so yeah, I can see as well, like after you beat us, obviously that was kind of quite an even matchup. And then obviously you had the first other 2 games you played first were Spherical and Gubcord, who ended up being near the top anyway. So it's like kind of a rougher start in, but it kind of set you up well for, you know, building on that for the others afterwards as well.
It's one of these challenges which kind of, you know, almost reminds me when people talk about like what a computer can do and what a human can do and how they look at things differently, you know, kind of like how computers can't really do random numbers, I'm pretty sure. Bad example because I don't know much about it. But anyway, kind of the idea that logically, if you look at like, you know, a round robin tournament where everybody plays everybody, the order is irrelevant. The order should not impact anything. Like everybody, the same teams play the same teams and they play them one at a time, and that's that. But in reality, when you're looking at the leaderboard and watching it and looking at what you need to do to get into these places and who you're playing, the pressure builds, and then there's like time for, you know, the teams to improve and practice. Not that we ever did. And so, like, these games that you play at the start can be either a lot easier or a lot harder than the games you play at the end, and it's all just, it's entirely mental, but it does make things a bit tricky, because, yeah, we got we got punched in the face at the start of this tournament. I'll be honest, and then coming on the back end of it, it didn't get much better. But that's part of the buy.
Yeah, I think it was the same for us as well. It's like you kind of we didn't do much practicing, to be honest, and it's kind of like you get this in I guess sports as well, and like we see the same obviously in like Pro Dota. It's like if a team gets on a run, they can become unstoppable just by virtue of the momentum that they have and the confidence they have with how they're playing. And I think like having a start like like two of the best teams in the tournament, right? Like that is a tough start. Whereas you were our first game, and obviously you were a newer, obviously newly formed team, so we had a bit more confidence, thinking we could probably get a game here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like ours was like the opposite almost, because we had Gubcord sit out spherical last. It's like that's where we got the Kingslayers, but by the time we got to that point, we kind of a bit more confident, had a bit more of a understanding of what we wanted to do. So yeah, it just sometimes, and I'd randomly drawn the fixtures, so it was just in a random generator, and I just like sent them out week by week. Obviously, we ended up not playing Bernard until a bit later anyway, and it all got a bit mixed around, but I think it worked out pretty well in the end anyway. So
no, you've just admitted it. You fucked us. You fucked us. I can't believe you did it. It's disgraceful. But yeah, I mean, moving on into GFG then. I mean, I think you guys had improvement as the tournament went on. I think you had some really great games. Obviously, as you say, taking a game off Gubcord. Who else do you take a game off? You've got 4 draws. So you took a game off us, a game off.
It's out.
Oh, you lost to who did you lose to? Spherical and
lost to Spherical and OGs.
Oh, OG's taking the win there. Okay, yeah. So again, like you can kind of look at that as somewhat of a varied performance, I suppose, can't you? The fact that you can take a game off Gubcord, take a game off Sit Out, and then you got 2-0'd by OGs. Obviously, no shade to OGs, just in terms of the standings here, you'd expect that the teams that you were going to beat would be the ones further down the leaderboard.
There's definitely a part of it that it's like I was understanding better how to draft the later in the tournament we got. And the OGs one was particularly difficult because of the flow zone random number generator carry. We were sitting in the draft with Flowzone on carry, and he's like played Treant or IO or, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know if I need to ban any of these things, but how am I supposed to prepare for what he's gonna play?
I went for ignore them all.
Yeah, I guess I'll just refresh the I'll just randomly generate a list of heroes he might play, and that might I'll ask ChatGPT or something. I don't know. He'll have a better idea.
I think that was what Flowzone was doing. Randomly, just are we sure he was actually picking? He hasn't added a random button to captain's mode. Like exactly. Whatever I get, that's the carry.
Run out and just random a hero. And I think that's where in that game, after that game, I sort of took a bit more time to think about the drafts after that. So for Bernard and going on from there, and that really helped us when we came to play Gubcord and Sit Out. I think sometimes in the past, in other tournaments where we've played, we have just lost the game in the draft, and that is completely on me. And I always say that after the games as well. So, and obviously we know we're one of the sort of lower, like we're not as high skilled as some of the other like players or teams in the tournament as well. So I'm trying to focus more on the draft because I know it's how I can have the most impact. And you've probably seen how badly I lane. I need to know I can have at least some impact at some point in a game, and it's usually during the draft. So I think before the Gubcord game where we won, I was like, I'm gonna draft seriously, even though we don't know if we don't think we'll have a shot here, because this might be my only chance in the next 30 minutes to have any impact at all in this game. So make the most of it.
I think you hit on a very good point, which is drafting is fucking hard. Like yeah, I don't think people realize this is the other thing we had going in GTI, going from group stage to main stage, is I got a lot better at drafting, and I still don't think I was good at drafting. I still don't think I'm good at drafting. I think I'm better than I was, but it's rough. And especially, like I have some drafting experience, but had a fresh team that I didn't know what they could play massively well. I feel for Bernard, Penn drafting for just 4 new guys. And I don't know how much drafting Penn does. I think they kind of just ended up with, well, one of us has to be the captain, so
yeah,
someone's got to do it. But I mean, I think
exactly.
I think I cast some really good games that you had. Your series against Bernard was a lot of fun. I was looking back at it today to get some clips of stuff, and it was just total chaos. The fights were insane. Not because they weren't coordinated, just because there was so much going on, and you had some great fights. There is a great point where I think both teams were fully smoked. I think you guys on GFG coming down out of the dire triangle, Bernard coming like up from Radiant Mid, like up onto the river, and around the rune spot, I think where there's like a rogue tree, you just all the smokes pop, and you're just on top of each other. And I think that is the only time we have seen a 10-man smoke in the entire tournament.
Yeah, no, that series was good fun as well. I really enjoyed that, and that's my style of Dota. I just love like the run at you, like constant fighting. It doesn't win games of Dota. We all know this. It does help, but it's not always the it's not the thing that gets you over the line. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
but
no, it's fun though. It's fun.
At least it makes for entertaining games, and ultimately that is why we're here as well.
That's me in every pub game of Dota I play. I was trying to see about the other day that other people are like, oh, I need to farm or do this, and I'm like, go kill that guy, take that tower, kills. Let's get kills, get more kills. I don't know if it's just because I play so much Pudge, I'm like, I need Fleep, I need to scale, but even if I'm on any other hero, and I think it's because when you're playing like support or even like an offlane or something, all the time I'm sat there and I'm like, oh, I'm not good at pushing a lane, I'm not good at pushing that tower. I get bored if I'm farming. All I want to do is run around the map and find someone to try and kill, and if they kill me, fair play. At least we had a crack at it.
Exactly, and this is like I was giving Catastrophe quite a lot of like I was in love with how he was playing on Friday because with the Centaur, he's just blinking in so aggressively, and like I could hear Of Not and the cast going like, "Oh," I was like, "No, go for it, just go, man, just keep going, keep running at them." There,
yeah,
it's working somehow. It's working.
In the most positive sense of the word, Catastrophe Centaur is a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, he doesn't like it because he feels like he gets stuck on it, but he is good on it. I hate Centaur. I don't touch it. Like today we picked Centaur twice in our games, both of them for Tim, because fuck that, I'm not playing it. But I think he's so good on it. Like, I don't know whether it's because it just allows him to be his like own brand of absolute like chaotic dive of just I'm going to assume nothing can kill me even if it can, or if he actually is just very well calculated. I'm going to assume it's the prior, but you can assume the latter if you want to give him more credit. But yeah, it's so much fun to watch as well. Like, he just doesn't care. So anyway, getting to the last team on our list, we've got Bernard. We've mentioned them a couple of times. The new team on the block. Well, I guess up with FGF, but I think this was formed of a lot of new players. I didn't recognize most of these names until this tournament. I knew Bernard Humperdinck, but I think he found his way in because he ended up in my Discord from me casting an RD2L game, and then ended up here from the post about this in the Fry Guys Discord. So he went on a bit of a journey to make it into the GFG, but then had a team named after him.
Yeah, and listen, great team, or two teams, should I say, because as I think you noted on one of your casts before, they have split the team names across two different. We've got two different Bernards, so who knows which Bernard.
If I was organising the tournament, that would be killing me. It's killing me a little bit, and it's not even like shouldn't technically matter to me, but just the fact that they won't show up as a best of two, or like they don't show up as the same series on Dota Buff, it kills me. It absolutely kills me.
What I would say is I would feel less bad about it if I didn't like forget to put the very first game of the tournament on the ticket. Like, I was so like overwhelmed with like, oh, there's a game happening like on the Saturday, like it's the first game, like I'm gonna cast it, whatever. Forgot the ticket. That's like rookie error. But as soon as I did that, I was like, oh, Bernard, go for it. Just have two teams. It's fine now. We're missing a game off of here anyway. It's okay.
Every time I make a lobby, I'm like double, triple checking everything. Like, is this right? Is this right? What the fuck does that even mean? Okay, well, we've never bothered with it before, so I'm sure it's fine. Like,
yeah, so cheats enabled? Is that cheats enabled? I think is.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, I don't even know how you do cheats in Dota. So even if they were enabled, I wouldn't know what to do. So I don't think it's going to make any difference.
Absolutely no idea.
But no, I mean, I don't know how many. Did you know most of these guys sort of when they signed up, or?
I think we played against Penn before, because we played him in a GTI prior as GFG.
Okay.
I think he played for Stinky's Holy Warriors back in the day. I don't know if that's still.
Right. Is that GFG 1 or 2?
That is, I think they were invited to GFG 1, but GTI 2.
GTI,
sorry,
sorry.
yeah,
I said
GTI 2.
GTF, didn't I?
Yeah, there's so many it's all G acronyms. I really should have separated the brand a bit better.
GTI, GFG, FGF.
Yeah, it's all happening. But yeah, I used to play. We played against him, I think, in that tournament. But he was about the only person I think I recognised from that team. Yeah, I hadn't really interacted with any of them before either. But they seem like, I feel like they've done really well. Like we said, for a group of lads cobbled together, pretty much at the last minute as well, because it was right up until that last week before we were starting the tournament that they got everything together.
I think it was
really
when I was looking for players and people. I think I'd seen a post of some of them saying "Oh, we could form a team," and they were like, "I think we're too high." And I went, "You know what? Fuck it, I'm bored. I'm going to run the numbers." And then I was like, "Guys, you're not too high. You're absolutely fine. Form a team."
Yeah.
I think one person who was in that looking for team thing said, "No, I'm not up for it." And then I think Bernard came through and became their last player.
And then they named the team after him.
And then they named the teams after him. Yeah. Yeah, and that's Bacon Sorcerer even took on his name as well, becoming Bernard Sorcerer for the tournament.
Yeah, the old Bernard Sorcerer.
Did you cast some of their games? Because that was confusing to have to cast, because you want to shorten the names, so you're like, oh, it's Bernard and Bernard.
Yeah, it was tricky. I won't say it was easy, but it's always difficult sometimes when I stumble across names all the time when we're casting, and it's like, yeah, we do not need 2 Bernards in here. It's already hard enough when it's 2 hero names that are similar or something like that. Or if you had Shadow Fiend, Shadow Demon, you've already got something like that to worry about, and then we've got double Bernard action or something to that effect. It's like, okay.
I was casting GTI qualifiers, and I was just at the point of going, I'm going to pick a way to pronounce this, and I'm going to stick with it. And if it's wrong, then either correct me or deal with it, but pick one, because I'm not going to keep trying. I'm not going to look it up somehow or anything. I think I was getting accused of, not knowing how to pronounce some of the well-known pros names. And it's like, well, why would I? Come on. Leave me alone.
We cast amateur Dota. That's why we don't need to know all these players' names and what heroes they play. I need to know what Larry plays. That's what I need to know.
Exactly.
I've got to be locked into how Larry drafts, so I can.
They've banned Wraith King. Yes, Larry's in the game. That makes sense. Excellent. Great job, team. You did a good one. Good
news. Exactly.
So yes, they are the teams that have played. They are the standings. But should we move on now to see how they've played?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Is there an updated version of this, or are we on the?
It has not been updated.
Okay.
So it is as it was before. Insert logo here. And...
I was going to leave that as a lovely surprise for chat to find out. Let me quickly pull this up, because you've made a lovely presentation for us.
Yeah,
which
I was hard at work on Friday, so managed to pull this together. So using the old strats, I have been also dabbling with the Dota API, but it was being a bit temperamental on Friday, so I had to revert back to strats. But yeah. No, I've had a little look through things, so we can take a look when.
Sorry, I'm just pulling strats up for when I inevitably dispute this. Now that we've had another game,
that is a good point. Actually, it's not up to date. It's not up to date.
Oh fuck! That was refresh. What's the button to get this in PowerPoint mode? View. It's got to be view. It is Control F5. Okay. I was like, it's not going to be F5. I'm pretty sure it's F5 in PowerPoint, but. So, yes, bringing us into this lovely slideshow. Insert logo here. The GFG Invitational stats with Scotteh and Falcus.
There we go.
You are going to have to tell me where to click. I apologize. That is just the case. I'll try and preempt it somewhat, but I'm assuming we want to go to the next slide now.
Yeah, let's go. Let's move on from the lack of the logo that I couldn't download. Yeah, right.
It's your logo! It's your logo.
I did it at work. I didn't have access to anything when I made it, so I just left it.
That's kind of fair. Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, and I didn't look at this today, so this will be a surprise for me because I haven't looked at it for a couple of days. This is the team ranking from Strats. This is a classic graphic in Strats. Actually, it's definitely changed now because you guys will be higher up. FGF obviously.
Yeah,
winning,
we'll have a slightly higher win rate, but it's pretty similar.
Should jump us, as we said. But yeah, it should be pretty similar. Obviously they match up to the league table. I was looking at the most picked heroes on this side as well, for each team.
Ooh.
And obviously you can see there's quite a lot of Kunkka going on. Lots of teams favouring it, including the top 2 and the 2 in the final.
True, yeah.
In this tournament. So yeah, there's like a good amount of. I mean, we've also favoured Kunkka a lot. Apparently, I don't remember. I feel like I've been asleep.
You don't remember running it. Like,
yeah.
when did I pick it? I mean, I am looking at ours and going, I'm not sure when we picked up the Monkey King so commonly, but yeah, we must. Oh, I think we've ran it mid, we've ran it carry as well, so we have definitely picked up a couple of times, but. We've had quite a few different picks, but yeah, it's definitely been sort of the Jakiro that has just been picked throughout. I know.
Yeah, I think that is. We'll get onto it, but it is the most picked hero, I think.
Who bless him, in game 2 today went. Now we've won one. It was like, Falcus, could I possibly have something that isn't Shadow Shaman or Jakiro, please? And I was like, you know what? You've asked so nicely, yes. And I was like, I don't know what though. And he's like, I really fancy Disruptor. And I was like, yes. I was like, that is a great hero. Yes, you can have Disruptor.
Go for it. Take it. Yeah. No, great hero. And I mean, yeah, Jakiro is like, it's great for this level of Dota. Lanes well, and has all the slows and the stuns that you require, so no surprise. Spherical obviously favouring it quite a lot, clearly working for them as well, being at the top of the table.
I think we've also got to remember we've had a patch, haven't we, halfway through the tournament?
Yeah, that's true.
So I think Jakiro has dropped slightly, still very good, like good in lane, good at pushing. He's still very good, but Shaman is like even before, but Shaman's such a powerhouse at the moment, just first pick material like every time basically.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just lots of teams were favouring the Kunkka. That's what I had written down there. Obviously, I've mentioned also that yeah, there's double Bernard. So who knows what their most picked hero is, because it could either be Tide or Anti-Mage, which seems like
one of the Bernards didn't win a game.
Yeah,
I think that was that Polar Bear Bernard.
Yeah, Bernard the Bear didn't win. But Bernard the Man did win the game against us. So
that is gutting. Poor Bernard the Bear.
He's come out with 0%, which we hate to see. Only 2 games, but
so close.
I mean, also the impact score is -21 for Bernard the Bear out of 2 games, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how Strats calculates this impact score.
It's just on teams. Do you think I can?
And the further we get onto it, and the more I will question what on earth they are cooking with this score.
I just want to know what we managed to move up to. A 41.7% win rate with a -19 impact. Oh my god, that is brutal when you hover over it.
It is brutal.
Team Spherical had average performance. They're currently the top team in the tournament, and they are but average.
I'll come on to it a bit later, but I was looking into like some of the things. For example, the FGF game where Vidicus carried on Werta and did like nearly 100k hero damage. They have given him a -44 impact score, and it's like, hello?
Sorry?
What do you mean -44? It's like there's no way. That's like unbelievable.
That is absolutely obscene. Right.
Because if I was thinking like -44, but you are, I mean,
you're all the damage, like whether or not anything else. Like,
I know the game is only won because of the Muerta. There's no way. I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know what's good sometimes. And I've got a couple of others. I'll just go through them while they're in my head. EA Nasir for Sit Out, the game where he only died once, I think, and it was diving to get a rampage under tier 3s. Only got +4 impact score, despite getting a rampage and going 11-1 and like winning a stomp. It's like, okay, what do you need to do in this game? to get to get something from strats. I don't understand.
The only thing I ever use strats for is when somebody complains about someone's performance in a game. You go on strats and go, if it's high, you go, boom, I had a really high strat score, so screw you. And if it's low, you say nothing and close it down.
Yeah, you retreat. I tend to get low scores, so I never really get to do the former of those two things. But yeah, speaking of which, let's move on to the top 5 players.
I should do this for you, shouldn't I?
Oh yeah, that would be.
There you go. Oh no, don't show that. We want just Scotteh on the screen.
Oh no.
There you go.
There we go. Lovely stuff. Yeah, so unsurprisingly, as I put here at the top, sit out and spherical players at the top. This was before the best of 3 on Friday as well, and obviously the game today, so it's a bit out of date. But these are the top 5 players as of that point, and all of their KDAs are pretty strong. I mean, Sleepy and obviously the carries, despite obviously the carries potentially being disadvantaged by the strats score. It is 2 carry players at the top, 4 sit out and spherical. And both had really good tournaments too.
I'm just looking at this thinking, like, yeah, great, 2 carries, 2 mids. Fucking go, Wurzag.
Yeah, exactly. Wurzag from the support role, making it in. We love to see it. Yeah, with the positive impact score as well. So listen, fair play.
I mean, Wurzag always has a positive impact score on my life, so.
Yeah, and I mean the heroes that the Wurzag plays as well get a lot done. I mean, you can see the top 3 there that are most played: Disruptor, the Clockwork, Lich, all heroes that you can have a lot of impact on.
Yeah, these are all pretty big heroes.
And so yeah,
Wurzag's Disruptor is an absolute menace.
Yeah. It was on our ban list for sure, because we do not want to have to put up with that. But again, you can see the 2 mids that are on the list both favor Kunkka, and then obviously they split down. Obsta's got the old Pango Earthshaker route, whereas Seeding likes this mid Underlord and then Quap as well. So yeah, you've got a nice difference in heroes, not all the same being played.
I love the fact that both the carries have completely different, like most played heroes. Like not even one hero the same.
Yeah, and I think that speaks a bit for the diversity of like what you can play in the carry role at the moment as well. It feels like at the start of the tournament, maybe in the previous patch, it was like Lifestealer was maybe one that would be early banned, or if you had like someone who's, I think we banned like Terrorblade for Sleepy Moon, for example, for that exact reason, because it's just like a hero for that player.
Yeah.
I think in terms of like actually when you get to, because often it's the last pick or 4th pick or whatever, you kind of get to a point where it's like you have quite a lot of options, and even if you try to ban out some stuff in that last phase, you can't cover all bases. So it's a kind of a good role at the moment for getting what you want, I feel like. Whereas the mids in the tournament, there seemed to be this kind of meta, probably led by Obstin and Seeding, actually, of the Kunkka, these kinds of heroes, these ones who like to go and gank different lanes.
I think there is a big carry meta. Like TB is massively in on the carry meta. Morphling's pretty good at the moment. There's a couple of others, but I mean Lena's really good, but we haven't seen a single carry Lena. I don't think. But like,
we played carry Lena, and it was we had.
You're gonna tell me I cast it next?
He kept killing himself. on Centaur's Blade Mail.
Oh, yes.
And I think he even all chatted saying, I imagine if I stop killing myself in this game, I might actually do something. Yeah, that was our last game against Spherical. And Obnot in the chat, no, we didn't see carry Lena. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. You played it. It didn't happen. So he's in denial, I think. He's in denial about it.
So moving on to the bottom 5. Yeah, this doesn't look good for FGF, I'll be honest.
Yeah, so just a reminder that what number 1 here is the worst player, inverted commas, according to strats. Let's just say that. But obviously the bottom 2 technically have only played 4 games, so haven't had as much chance as some of the others to have an impact that would rise them up this list.
So interestingly, Maripa stand-in, who has stood in for 4 games. Tim, the actual player, who only managed to make 4 games. So good job, Tim.
Well, this is also before today, so Tim,
That's
we should
true.
probably check. Actually, let me have a look.
We will check, because I'd like to point out that somebody is there undeservedly, very undeservedly.
Is that my player, the dog from Teletubbies? Is that Jurimbong? Jurimbong's there undeservedly.
Do you know what it is? Yes, Jurimbong had some great games, to be honest. Like on, I think, AA and Winter Wyvern. He's definitely an icy boy at heart. But yeah, I mean, I would just like to say, like, when we're talking about like the strat score not working, like I was very surprised Mareep was at the bottom, and also Tim, because he's had some really good Centaur games. I'm not sure I can speak so much for his techies, but like his Centaur's been very good, and Mareep always felt like she was doing like great work in the games when she was standing in. Like Mareep was one of the stand-ins I was like very, very happy to have back, because they fit very nicely. But yeah, go on, let's have a look at the players.
Just to check, so I'm just actually checking the top players first. The top 5 are the same, but Wurzag is now up into 2nd place after the series on Friday.
Yes, Wurzag.
And there are actually the 2 carry heroes, anti-mages, on both the most played for Sleepy and also EA Nasir. But I think, looking at this, they've played every hero basically once, apart from Weaver twice and Razor twice, respectively. So actually, because if you hover over on your screen, I can see, if you hover over like where the hero is, you'll see that their record is 1-0 or 2-0. And so the Razor they played
playing 1-0, so yeah.
Yeah, so I think like outside of the Weaver twice for EA Nasir and obviously the Razor, the Sleepy Moon, they have played they've played a lot of different heroes. So this most played is
when was this
could be very long. Yeah,
but then we look at the mids, and like 6 games on Kunkka, 3 games on Underlord, 2 games on Quap, and then for Obs we got 6 games on Kunkka, 3 games on Pango, and 2 games on Shaker.
Yeah.
Interestingly, impact score 0 on both Kunkka and Pango, but a lot more on Earthshaker. Similar for... Yeah, I think that this is the other thing. When it takes the averages, like the more games you play, the lower you can end up being. So looking at
and I'm just looking now. Look at the bottom. Tim's gone lower. Or is he the same?
No, he's the same, I think.
He's the same.
So if we disregard some of the stand-ins, our actual bottom 5 would be Tim, Spec, that's Bacon Sorcerer, or Bernard Sorcerer in this case. We've got Durham Bong, King, and Mareep. Is that 5? Not Mareep. Meepo. Is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah, that's 5.
Although Meepo's only played 2 games as well. So
okay.
Might have to...
No, don't keep going past the other standards. Don't you dare.
Oh, it was interesting. You did call it before we got to the actual 5th place player, but what I will say is I am not much further beyond. You will note that I'm just a bit further down. I'm normally near the bottom, to be honest. I think in GTI I was well in the bottom, like 5 or 10 for sure. So I think the offlane is also feels very difficult.
So
at the moment,
I think this is one where it's easier for the carries to actually stay higher up on this list, because it's not purely down to impact score, it's down to rating. So this is taking into account, I think, like, you know, kills and deaths and XP per minute, gold per minute, and this sort of stats. So if you're a support who's playing a lot of clock or something, I mean, equally this is going to like Wurzag or something. I mean, Vi pointing out that Peebo's pretty far down. Like, if you're initiating a lot and you're maybe dying in fights, you're taking a big hit on your stats, even though your team maybe then wins the fight or something, or does all right off the back of it. You're then going to get knocked down, which I think is why you're going to see offlane and support further down, because the supports get picked off easy, and the offlaners are usually trying to make stuff happen, and they're going to die.
Yeah, I think that's also why it's, you know, going back to the top players again, like Wurzag being up in 2nd place is kind of, you know, as a support. And there are a couple of others, Lulu as well, and you got Moist Goblin as well in 6th place. Like, from the top teams at least, the supports seem to be being weighted or being up higher, obviously, as you would expect for winning more games. But I think there's also, like, in 9th place, Wellen is there. I think there's played 2 games.
Wellen played 2 games for us on FGF and is apparently our best player.
So there you go. Maybe a permanent move.
Yeah. Hey, I tried to
permanent-
get Wellen back as a stand-in, but unfortunately he was unavailable for most of the time. I mean, Bird also pretty high, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering if we'd see, because we see a few Wraith Kings popping up because it's been quite heavily picked. If there's a point where Wraith King just stops being in the most like played heroes because he doesn't die when he dies, although Bacon Sorcerer may be kind of throwing that concept off there, so maybe not the case at all. But anyway,
it's
we get
definitely one of my most played, I think. But yeah, no. So well, obviously that's the up to date list anyway. But yeah, Strats is it's a cruel it's a cruel beast at times with the impact. But yeah, I've put in the notes there about the offlane players difficulty and stuff. But yeah, moving to the most picked. I mean, we talked about the Jakira already and the Kunkka a little bit too. Just like as a lane winner, obviously with the patch change, maybe a little bit different now, but at the start of the tournament was definitely something being prioritized a lot in like first picks for sure, or if not banned as well. And the same for Kunkka. Kunkka actually sort of supplanted that, I think, more recently because of the flexibility of the hero, but also a lot of the mids, particularly of spherical sit out, want to secure their hero because they know it will be banned at some point if it doesn't get first picked. I think when we played against sit out, I think in both games, I think Seething first picked his hero. So there's kind of like that. Yeah, let's secure me with what I want to have basically, and then we can go from there. So yeah.
Wraith King has a crazy win rate.
It does, yeah.
For the amount of times he's been picked.
Yeah, and so and again, just favored in the off lane. I mean, we at GFG have flexed it to the safe lane. I know it's not the best safe laner, but just keeps our options open in a draft like that as well. And yeah, highest win rate I think of heroes of any hero that's like been picked like that amount. I think.
Interestingly,
and pre-change as well.
I think Kunkka's fairly high, but doesn't have the highest win rate because whereas I think in a pro game you'd consider Kunkka a flex pick, no one's really doing that here. Kunkka is always going mid, although Kunkka technically can be mid, offlane, or carry at a push. I hate Kunkka carry, but it's a thing. And then the Wraith King with the massive win rate could just be because it's being well flexed and people deciding which lane to put it in or where to play it. I think there's also an aspect too, though, of are most of the teams just playing for these long drawn out fights where this level of sustain, like with the reincarnation, is really valuable here.
Yeah, I think that's something to be said for that as well. But I also think a lot of the heroes here are sort of team fight disrupting heroes. Like I think that's why Clockwork has always been prioritized quite a lot, especially if you think back to GTI last year was like the most contested pick. I want to say it's
I mean,
certain point.
Clockwork's still crazy with the cogs, like absolutely insane.
And I think with what you get from like even from a hero like Jakiro, Shaman as well, it's like you're looking for these supports that can like cause some chaos in the fight as much as anything else. I'm interested by like the Monkey King win rate is and the Centaur, like Monkey King Centaur have a similar win rate, but the MK I was surprised. I don't know, maybe because I don't really know what's meta most of the time, but I was surprised how much I saw the hero being picked. And it seems like it might have only got really stronger as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, so it's generally really good because his attack range is ridiculous. He's pretty good in the safe lane because a lot of your offlaners that like to be picked these days, like he counters Axe very heavily, same as us. So like anyone who just wants to hit something multiple times, terrible for Axe. So he can have a very strong lane a lot of the time, especially into a lot of the stuff that I think we see the offlaners picking. But also the fact you can then put him mid and he's still very strong into most melee mids, even some ranged mids. Like he's a very competent hero. And again, I think the high win rates on some of these being that they're picked a lot, but then they can be flexed. Because if you've just got a high pick rate, it's not going to help you if it then gets counterpicked down the line. And the heroes that you see get the high pick rate are generally the ones that are being picked up early because there's less opportunity to ban them. So you got to pick it up early, and then if you can flex it somewhere else and move it around a bit, then it's a much stronger hero, which I think is where we then see the win rate. Similar for Shaker, really. You know,
for sure.
it can be played mid, it can be played support in the offlane of the push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the Shaman being up there is pretty standard. It's interesting how different this is to the pros, in a sense. Like, Shaman is 100% like one of the most contested heroes in the pros, but in terms of like the carries that we see here is like, well, we don't really see any carries for starters, which kind of shows that there's more of a spread. And there's not really any spirits being picked up in the mid lane necessarily. I think the Wraith King is fair enough, but Warlock sort of creeping up in there is kind of crazy. Like, is this just a sort of a very favored sort of support at lower ranks? Lower ranks in this case being basically anything like Ancient and below.
Yeah, I think also with the supports, there've been a lot of support bans, like especially early on first phase.
Yeah.
So you think about like maybe the Jakiro and the Clockwork, or maybe Jakiro Shaman gets taken out, and the support players tend to be maybe the ones who have a smaller hero pool on the teams, because you probably want to put players with the biggest hero pools on the core roles. So
I think there's also an
you're
aspect.
kind of limited a bit. Sorry,
there's an aspect on the supports of just people not coping as well in lanes that aren't great matchups for them, and your supports make a massive impact to your lane compared to your carry. Like, your carry's there, I just want to hit creeps. I want to live, and I want to hit creeps. Whereas the support is there to go, I would like my carry to live and hit creeps, therefore I have to do X, Y, and Z. So getting a Shadow Shaman in lane is huge, so people are worried about making sure that their lane is okay, and maybe not thinking so much about down the line. So we see sort of the same supports getting banned repeatedly.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
we can move on to
speaking of bans,
actually. And again, this is where you'll see a lot more carry heroes. Drow, interestingly, has been banned like 65% of the time. Same with Lifestealer, I mentioned earlier at the start of the tournament, was definitely one of the carries that was most threatening in sort of like the meta at the time. But then you even have Wraith King bans. Probably like half of that is Larry. If Larry's in the game, like you said, he stood in for a couple of teams as well.
And
so
the Wraith King gets
not only is
banned
it
every
OGs, and Wraith King's banned every time. So a bit of that going on. And I think you can see there are a few respect bans in there. The Pango feels like, I think GCD's mid Jax plays mid Pango, so does Obst, obviously.
I mean,
so a little
Pango
bit
can be Pango can be a massive pain. Like, Pango's still a very good hero, and he's quite difficult to counter. So like, you have to make sure you've picked something that can deal with the Pango, like a Bloodseeker or something with a good silence. Because once he gets in that role and he gets going, you're not doing anything until he's out of it. So if he kills you during that time, then there's nothing you can do. The Drow ban, I feel, is just everybody going, well, what could they pick here? And Drow has a silence, has a slow, is good at last hitting, does good damage, and can sod off to the jungle and turn up at 35 minutes and just end the game. I think also my fear on Drow a lot of the time is a very farmed Drow, similar to like a very farmed Medusa, is just, you don't beat it. Like, there are very few heroes that can go up against that. The ones that get me are the Lifestealer ban and the Slark ban, really. People seem quite scared of Slark. I'm not sure there are that many players playing Slark. Still a good hero, though, so not the worst ban. And the Lifestealer, every single game we've played as FGF, I think pretty much other than today, we've had Lifestealer banned. And every single game, Vidya's gone, I don't get it. Because he doesn't care about playing it. And I don't know if there's just an aspect of going, we want to cast our spells. We don't want the lad who says no casting your spells.
I think, it's just one of those things where, for us at least, we banned it a few times, probably actually against you as well. It's not because of Vidi necessarily. It's more just we play against this in pubs, and it annoys the hell out of us. So what we want to not do when we have to play like our fun tournament game, we do not want to play against that. Say that with the full knowledge that obviously there's so many heroes in the pool that like you're gonna, the chances are that something that you don't like is gonna get through and be picked. But it's like I think that's where at least our dislike of the hero came from, and the reason we were banning it. But I think the Slark ban was actually, for some of that is also a lot of us, like GFG too, because we tend, and there's also there's two parts to it. First, we tend to ban it because, again, it's another hero that really annoys us in pubs. It's kind of hard to lock down. I think when we played against you, Vidi played it, and we just could not catch him to kill him.
Was that Vidi's good Slark game?
Yeah, I think so. Let me. I could.
Vinny
I'm
had a
pretty
bad
sure that's
Slark
what it was.
game where I said, "You're never playing Slark again." And then he persuaded me that it was the best option, and I said, "You better fucking make sure you farm." And then he had a phenomenal slot game, and sort of
Yeah, I think.
reinstated his my belief in him.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, against us, Vidicus 20 kills, 3 deaths, 17 assists, and we just could not catch him to kill him. We didn't have a bad game, but once the Slark like snowballed and got out of control, it just
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, I
just
mean, hey, that's Slark.
impossible.
I mean,
Yeah,
Slark's still getting picked up in pro games. He's still a good hero. Although, I mean, I think I watched one recently where there was a Slark with like 3 stacks of permanent agility in about 35 minutes, and you kind of just going, "Oh dear, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work out."
But yeah, so I think there's part of that, and also like that last bit of the draft where you're banning carries. If you're banning carries, then often that's what probably what
Yeah.
you'll
So
go
quite
for anyway.
often, yeah, carries or mids are guaranteed 2 bans, aren't they? And that's like 2 bans being specific to them.
Yeah, exactly.
So what have we got here? Unpicked heroes.
Yeah, again, this might be out of date. This one's from Dota Buff this time rather than Strats.
Don't think this is out of date.
I don't think it has changed actually. Yeah. So we have at the top here we have unplayed heroes, and then ignored heroes are ones that haven't even been
Haven't
banned.
even been
Obviously,
banned.
Puck has been banned.
Puck's
mostly
been banned
because
every
Peebo,
game
I imagine.
against OGs because Peebo is an absolute fiend.
Yeah, so there's things like that, but things like I don't know if there's any surprises for you in this list of what hasn't been played.
I
I
mean-
mean, for me, it's nothing that I would play, so for me, it's like I don't.
Maybe like the Crystal Maiden not being picked up by a support. In terms of
Yeah.
comparing sort of like Pro Dota to GFG, not a sentence I think you'd think you'd hear, but Batrider is huge at the moment. He's very good. His new facet is ridiculous. He can farm phenomenally well, and he does a ton of damage. So his new facet being that, is it his facet or is it? I think it's his facet. He can scale his sticky napalm to level 5, and once it's level 5, he applies a stack of it with every right-click attack.
Yeah.
So he just basically gets max stacks and everyone really easily. Chen, I'm maybe a little bit surprised that I feel like Vi's maybe a Chen fan. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just getting confused. Magnus is such a good hero, but maybe people just not being sure where to play him at the moment, or nobody really liking him.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you've got Kez on here. He's not in captains yet.
Yeah, he gets included by Dota Buff by default, and so he's just there. He's just chilling.
And the other one for me that's really big at the moment in Pro Dota is Naga Siren. So Naga Siren now, I don't know if you know that, I wasn't really aware of this until I saw a lot of it recently, is Siren Song heals and gives regen.
Oh.
So Siren Song is now so good for just disjointing a fight or setting up a fight rather than just like escaping or something like. And so it's a lot of Naga Siren support at the moment rather than the core. But yeah, other than that, I think a lot of that makes sense. And the same on the bans. Like, no one's playing Naga Siren, so leave it alone. Skarath Mage actually is maybe surprising.
Yeah, I feel like that's there are some heroes there when I look at the list, like you say, the Crystal Maiden, the Skyriff Mage. These are supports that, or generally supports that are not that
difficult.
They fit, not that difficult. So they fit into this kind of thing. But maybe there's just other things you want to prioritize. If you got the Shaman there or the Jakiro, even the Warlock as well, which seems to be a favored one for the GFG lads, then it's like, well, do we need to pick CM as well? But
so I mean,
but yeah, there's still time for this to change. Of course, we could get
we got 3 games tonight, possibly.
Exactly, Obst mid Arc Warden or something.
So I mean, if you're watching now, Obst seething the rest of both teams. Look here, these are the heroes we want to see. You pick one of these, you earn some respect. You get some kudos. Not on Strava. I'm not going to do that. But here are the options. Like, what are you going to pick out of this? I mean, if it's not banned, you would look at the ignored heroes. They're not going to ban them, so build your draft around that. And they're not getting banned. You can last pick it. It's not going to matter. Last pick your Meepo. See what happens.
This is where either team has been prepping this Batrider strat you were just talking about for like the entire tournament. Was like, we'll save this for the final, and now we've just blown the cover. Like, oh yeah, by the way, this is really good, guys. You should watch out.
Yeah, well, no, it is really good. So someone should be playing it, but I doubt unless someone's going to now stop watching and do sort of an hour and a half of Batrider bots, like trying to prep their Batrider gameplay.
So there you
this is
go.
a fun
Okay,
one. Shortest game
right.
of
Here
the
we go.
tournament.
Let me actually just double check something because I wrote there. I just want to check the game today. That I don't think either of them were less
No,
than
they
30
weren't. It was
minutes
like
long.
30 odd minutes.
Yeah.
game one.
So this is the only game that is shorter than 30 minutes in the entire tournament, and I'm happy to say it was me GGing out of this one as we got absolutely rolled by Spherical.
Where were they at in terms of towers? Oh, you can see
Uh,
on the little graphic.
Yeah, we we got the one tier one. Look, we didn't
Oh,
go
God.
towerless. We managed to take one tower, but then the map got squeezed and it got out of hand. The bottom lane, it says it's a radiant stomp. I mean, that is, I don't know if that's if that can be an understatement, but it feels like it. We got absolutely rolled in the off lane in that game.
I mean, this is the
Me and
Monkey
Paul
King.
Braxy. Yeah,
Monkey King, a very strong laner, plus Undying, a ridiculously strong support for a lane, into a strength core is just rough. And Lionel, though, a very much a go-to hero, especially at again lower ranks. No shade intended. We're all here. He once he's stunned, unless he's picking up Hex super early as well, he doesn't do that much. He doesn't have kill potential early on. I wouldn't say it's a great stun, but without any follow-up. You can't do too much. So I can see how this lane went awry.
Yeah, we kind of got cornered in the draft in this one a little bit because I realized that I'd banned some of Braxy's heroes and they banned the rest of them. And then we were like, we really do just have the lion left here actually, now I think about it. And so it was sort of cornered myself a bit. And obviously, so.
But no, I mean, this looks like a typical story of win your lanes, win your game.
Yeah.
And also when you're backed into that corner, when you've got a drow that you're waiting on, and they're coming at you with a Monkey King who's going to have got online a lot quicker. Even just looking at the net worth difference at the end, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, there are these times. Go on.
Oh, sorry, go on. Oh. I mean, for me, it's as the offlaner there, who's had this horrible lane. It's I'm now supposed to go and try and make space for my drow, but I have nothing, and I just die. And it's a real sad situation to be in, post laning phase. You're I cannot make anything happen here at all.
And it's rough when you're that carry who's trying to find somewhere safe to farm where they're not going to track you down and murder you. And also you're watching your team struggle, and you're kind of going, can they hold on, or should I try and get involved earlier? And it's a hard call to make.
Yeah, it was a very difficult game, but we just tapped out. If I had known that every other game had gone to 30 minutes, I would have left it 4 more minutes or whatever it was to get there. But there we go. it's now the shortest game. And we're also involved in the longest game.
God. Just going for records here. That's all it is.
We've had it all. I'll come back against Sit Out, in which I would note here, this is another case of strats being absolutely bonkers. Obnot on the Medusa, -14. I don't think there is any scenario in which we win this game if we do not have that hero.
Yeah, and he's got 60k net worth at the end of the game. That's insane. The comeback, you can see it on that graph, is ridiculous. After again a radiant stomp.
Yep. Once again, I'm getting stomped in my off lane. No surprises there. It tends to happen. But I think Obnot with 1,000 last hits in this game.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was just farming and farming and farming, and there we go.
Maybe I cast this game.
I think you did, yeah. I think you did.
Yeah, this is Sit Out's global strat plus Lulu because
I banned the Tinker.
They banned the Tinker. But no, I mean, this is exactly what we were saying before about the Medusa. You cannot beat a farmed Medusa. If the Medusa gets up there, and Sit Out here just didn't draft themselves any way to go late in the game. They took this really early lead because of the damage coming out of Wurzag on the Zeus and their rotations, and the Nature's Prophet being able to just farm and then appear and then kill. But no, I think this was one where you guys did really well. You look for 4 deaths on Obnot on the Medusa, and that's what you need to stay out of the way, even though your supports have died a lot. It's not the end of the world.
No. We had the fullback of the Medusa in the end, and to be fair to Kamaya as well, he's had an absolutely all-time game on the Invoker in that one as well. It was creating space, and I think this was the game also where Catastrophe kept ending up being on his own in different lanes, and then Kamai would just TP to wherever he was and just like hunt him down.
Yeah, I think this is the one where Catastrophe was basically helping you guys out at one point. You were farming Catastrophe back into the game, like.
Pretty much. I still think, like when we were speaking about it after the game, I still think if Sitout had tried at least a couple more times to go high ground. I know Seething was saying after the game that like it felt very much like they couldn't really breach it with the Medusa. I think if they had gone a couple of times more, we might have just broken because we might have just been outplayed by them. But hey, listen, they started split pushing and we just tank behind the Medusa and that was it. So it worked out in the end overall. But yeah, so we were in the longest and the shortest game of the tournament. It's crazy. But yeah, so we are on to the old Radiant versus Dire. So I feel like this is a classic. The Radiant win more. I think you were talking about this potentially on a cast or something the other day. But yeah, the Radiant side is favoured. And 60%. And I don't know if that's actually changed. I will check this as well. But let's see whether that has changed at all, or if today has confirmed it. Where do I find that information? How did I find it before? Who knows? Stats summary. It's exactly the same as it was before. So I'm guessing today just reaffirmed what was already happening. But the average match duration is also like 43 minutes, which I think is really good for the tournament and speaks a lot to like how close it's been across a lot of the different games. It's kind of one of those things where last year we had quite a lot of stomps because I think there were two teams that were just a bit better than all the others.
Yeah.
But this year we've had really, really close games, and I think different teams taking games off each other. We spoke about it right at the start of the show, but it's like this is exactly what I wanted when I came when I was going to do this the second year in a row. So this is what I wanted. I wanted it to be closer. Obviously, lots of people are improving because people playing Dota all the time, getting better at the game, which is really good to see. And it's just nice to have, nice even matches and matches that go on for a bit longer. Obviously, we spoke about the shortest game. We got rolled. It happens. It still happens. But at least the average and like most games are going for like 40 odd minutes, which is it's really nice to see. And two teams are in it at least for a portion of the game too. So yeah.
I also just love this Radiant Dire win rate because people like I always have this argument with Silo. It's like, oh, why do you pick Radiant? And it's like, because I want to be the good guys, and because for some reason the win rate is higher. My personal win rate is higher. Every time a team's win rate is higher, and in this case, the entire tournament win rate is higher on the Radiant side.
Yeah.
Logically, I don't know why. I know Dire used to be better. Now I think it's pretty balanced, but it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It does feel quite balanced, but I don't know whether it is just nicer colors. I think you said this before.
I think it's a mental thing. I think you go, I'm on the side, it's all green, it's lovely, my mental health feels nice, I'm a happy person, and then you get to bully your way into the Dire, sort of, this realm of death and destruction, and go, you know what, fuck you guys, you don't get to be about anymore. It's all about green team.
Exactly. I think there's also, I mean, for GFG, I think we literally were the first pick Dire every single series. So every time we got the option, I think we always chose first pick, which I don't know which one out of the two of those is better, to be honest. I guess it's just preference. We don't really have a preference, so we would always go first pick. We always ended up first pick and Dire, so we'd always be second pick on the Radiant side. So maybe we just had that opportunity to counter the other team. I don't know.
I mean, first pick versus second pick entirely comes down to whether you want to be able to counter their last pick or if you want to be able to take a hero first. So if you want something super contested, like a Shadow Shaman, you take first pick because you want to take that. But like you might think, we kind of want to pick this mid, or we want to guarantee we win our mid lane. So we want to counter whatever they pick. But equally, again, in most people's hero puddles, the counter isn't going to be there. So like you can't rely on that really.
No, exactly. So yeah, it is interesting to see Radiant, is the top one there. And then we obviously were talking about the most successful lane pairs. From what I could see, I did a bit of maths on it, but not as much as I was planning to. But yeah, for obvious reasons, I mean, the two teams that stand out are Spherical and Sitout. They are the finalists tonight as well. But obviously Sleepy and Clavy for Spherical, because 1 and 11, and then obviously Sitout having two their entire safe lane actually in the top 5 best or top players of the tournament. Obviously, Wurzag's now jumped up to second. But yeah, so these are the two player lane pairs.
Yeah, I mean these are the two player lanes, and these are the two lanes we're going to see tonight. I mean, interestingly, both safe lanes. I think is like the big one.
I think it has been in general. I mean, you've been in the off lane as well. It feels like, or for me at least, it's felt very difficult to be in the off lane in recent matches at least.
Yeah, I think it depends on the picks and it depends on the supports you're picking, but the general rule is you want your safe lane to do well, so you are going to put everything you can at your safe lane doing well and sacrifice your off lane on that part. So
exactly.
You know, if there's a better support to have in lane, safe lane. If there's a better if you need to make rotations, it's to safe lane. Like, nobody's coming to help out the off lane usually.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So
cool.
Excellent. I mean, great to get an insight there, and I really hope we see some. I'd love to see some of those heroes that we haven't seen previously now, like coming into play this evening.
Yeah, it's kind of why I wanted to include it as well, for that reason, to be like, hey guys, look at these heroes that haven't been played, just in case you were thinking about it. They're here and they're available. So. Cool.
Right. So we will now be moving on into our exhibition match. I'm excited to reveal this. Are you running off to have some food at this point, or are you?
I will jump out for a bit, but I'll be about. But have you got a co-caster for this already lined up? So
I do not, but I can probably get one.
I don't mind sticking around if you want some company. Happy to stay. I'm loading up Dota all the same. So
you can see we're very, very well prepared.
Ob can hop in my stead if you're having.
Come on,
like
Ob. I'll take Ob.
Cool. And then I will dip out and try and recover. I won't have a nap now because you might not see me until the cast then. So I'll make sure I stay awake and.
Probably a good idea.
Cool.
Right, chat. We are going to get this up and rolling for you very shortly. We'll take a quick sort of 3-minute break and we will return to you with our exhibition game. And hopefully it'll be an exciting one and hopefully an interesting one. I'm excited to let you guys know who's playing. So we'll catch you very soon. Okay, well, hello back to hello back. That's not a thing. Welcome back to a familiar sight, a Dota 2 lobby. You should all be used to these. I am being joined now by the wonderful Obnot.
Hello there.
Who has escaped chat and into the casting booth. Welcome to Top Goon. I feel like I should say that. Is it your first appearance on Top Goon as well?
It is.
There's only ever been 3 episodes. There's not been that many people on Top Goon, to be fair, but you're one of less than 20 at least. Probably less than 15.
What a privilege.
It might be less than 10, to be honest. I'm not going to count them. But as I'm sure you can now see, chat, in the lobby, we do have Lulu of Team Sit-Out and Moist Goblin of Team Spherical. So, I thought for this match, you know, everybody always goes on about the cores, the carries with all that damage, the mids with these great ganks, and the offlaner, you know, running around making plays, tanking, soaking up all the damage. What about the supports, guys? The supports are doing a phenomenal job. We've already seen from Wurzag being in the top 5 of the top 5 players, basically, of the tournament. So yeah, the 2 teams going up against each other tonight. These guys will have 4 other players with them. But going head to head, it's a completely different ballgame. Who will come out on top? This is actually just revealed to you as well, Obnot.
Is this 1v1? Is that what we're?
This is a 1v1. This is a mid-only 1v1.
This is fantastic.
Mid-only 1v1, no mirroring, support players.
This is. I can't wait. I want to see Lulu bring out the Tinker. I want to see if she can, if Lulu can play it carry as well as support.
Well, you might see it. You might yet see it.
I think that would be great.
I don't know what they're going to pick. It remains to be seen.
We'll find out now, won't we? Let's get this show on the road. Do they get bans?
No. They just have to pick. But we get a little screen like this. It's quite fun. Ancient Apparition. Okay.
Hey.
So quite good, probably decent in a 1v1 in a sense. Like they do good damage. The ult will be really nice. Like Lulu, it's the Tinker! It's the Tinker!
Yes. We got it.
Here it comes. It comes.
This is so hype. I'm so excited for this. Come on.
I'm so glad. This is a bit of a different one. It feels weird. We've never cast anything together, have we?
No, we haven't. You'll get to learn what Scotteh puts up with.
It feels when I cast with someone else like I'm cheating on Sylar at this point. Like we've cast so much together. He's like my cast husband, you know.
Well, I have no desires to be a mistress, I guess, in this situation.
I am thinking on the back of saying that most people would say co-caster, wouldn't they? Yeah.
I
don't know. I think we argue enough and make up that we can be cast husbands. I think that's fair.
Yeah. I think we'll allow it.
Should I give the traditional run through then?
Yeah. I mean, here we are. It's the exhibition match. 1v1.
The GFG exhibition match coming out for Team Sit-Out. We've got Lulu on the Tinker going mid, and on Spherical we've got Moist Goblin on the AA going mid.
Are they going to go for runes, do you think?
We got no smoke set. Now, this is going to be where we see the difference in knowledge. I don't believe bounty runes spawn on a 1v1.
Oh, right. Okay.
He was coming to Ward. My God.
Ward out.
He got 2 obs and a sentry. What have we got on Lulu? Only 1 obs and a sentry. He's forgotten there's nobody else in the game.
He doesn't want to take up all the.
He doesn't want to take all the wards. Yeah.
That's a true support player right there.
That's a true blue support. So we got some tangas, some mentals.
What the strategy is in this?
Right. So
you have any idea?
Well, to fill everybody in, the players are aware. It is first to 3 kills, or to take the tower. So your strategy is either kill your opponent or take the tower. Going off sort of support heroes, I mean, I'm not too sure. You want kill potential, but you need to be able to farm up a little bit. But you got to remember, there's no late game here, so you're not building towards big items. You're just.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
pretty-
assuming both of these guys are going for the 3 kills
Oh,
as
they're
well.
right.
Neither of them are particularly powery, pushy heroes.
Wait, does Tinker not do damage to towers anymore?
But I didn't realize it used to. Or the
Definitely, March
machines
used to do damage to towers. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh my
Someone will
goodness.
correct me in chat. I'm sure.
Well,
This
that
is-
could be a show up for the first.
Yeah.
Or
This
the first deny coming out.
This is the usual. There's no immortal in the cast, so if someone can correct us in chat, if we're wrong.
Yeah, I've got no idea what's going on at the best
Tom's
of
in
times,
chat
let alone
as
in
the-
a 1v1.
As the winner of the Fry Guys Festive Fracas, which is raising money for Jingle Jam, he won that 1v1 tournament and says the strategy is to win. So wise words
okay.
there.
I hadn't considered that as a viable strategy, but now you've said it, it's obviously that's the path to go down.
So no last hits yet on the AA here.
Yeah. Lily's making it happen.
I mean, he is, but he's picked up the laser, now going into March of the Machines, but basically as soon as the wave comes up, if Moist is actually trying to last hit something low, he just lasers him and goes, actually, you don't hit anything.
Yeah, try again.
They're both yet
He's gone
to
for
realize...
the repair bots as well. Which I
Yeah.
kind of like. That's some nice survivability.
With also good damage. He just takes
Yeah.
massive control of the wave here. I mean, he could look for early tower push. No one's gone for the bounty runes yet. Now, this could be a sort of no one wanting to leave lane, or it could be a display of neither of those sentry wards can see each other.
Oh, Lulu gets the
He has gone for the bounty as well. Yeah, I was going to say, they might have just not realized, or they might both be sort of gentleman's agreement. They're going to leave them alone, but Lulu has broken that if that was the case. I did tell them anything on the map is fair game.
Can they just go push the other tower?
I don't think the other towers can take damage. I could be wrong, but there's definitely no creeps there, so...
Lulu getting a little low here.
He's very low. I mean, not healing up quite enough from those heal bots there. This goblin going to push
Slowly
up. This is where we're going to see
level
the damage coming out. This chilling touch attack. It's just
nasty.
60
The amp-
damage.
The amp damage with the ice vortex as well. It adds up quick. What facet they got on AA?
We got Bone Chill on the AA.
Juice of strength. Okay.
No, I mean, maybe not the biggest thing. I don't know what the other option is on AA, to be honest, but
I think the other one's the AoE cold feet, isn't it? Which I guess does nothing.
yeah. I mean, I'd stand by reducing... It is kind of like when you're playing Undying, and it's like, oh, they haven't got a lot of strength heroes, and it's like, right, but they all still have strength.
Yeah.
They still can lose strength.
It's still free health, right?
Yeah, if anything, they have less strength to lose.
Indeed. Yeah, more effective. More effective. Bottle finished up on the AA, getting it shipped out. And I believe the same on the Tinker. Both bottles inbound, but they won't be here for this rune round.
Tinker's just going to beat out for Lulu.
How has Lulu suddenly got so much health again? That regen.
He tangoed.
Pretty sure.
Chat's discussing whether or not the tangoing an Iron Branch tree still gives extra health. Now, I thought they changed this like multiple patches ago, but I've been shouted down in pub stacks about it to the point that I believe it does still, but I didn't
Pretty
think
sure
it does. Well, the fact that
It's got to, right?
Sleepy's suggesting it doesn't, I'm kind of thinking he might. He's a top GFG team. He's in the grand final. I mean, come on, surely he knows.
He is, according to Strats, the best player in the tournament.
That's true. I mean, Vidi says it's still twice duration though, so and Vidi is Divine 1, not officially,
Oh.
but by my standard.
Maybe you should set up a predictions or something, a vote.
Does it do it?
Does it not? The age-old question. I feel like it should. Otherwise, that's just
Yeah.
lost gold.
If there's a mod lurking in chat, please set up a vote on whether or not tangoing an Iron Branch tree increases regen or not.
And we're gonna have to have someone fact check it as well.
That's true. We can
the
fact check it
answer.
at the end though if we need to. So we need a prediction for that. We might not have any mods in chat, to be fair. It's entirely possible.
Right, Moist Goblin, very low on mana. Lulu, I feel, is taking control of this.
Yeah, it's these March of the Machines. They are so big now. Like,
Not get anywhere near.
he just puts them across the entire croup wave and says, "You don't get to last hit anything." He's had control of the runes as well, which has just allowed him to fire off this laser, and it's 150 damage every sort of just under 20 seconds, and the regen's just not there for Moist Goblin.
Yeah, and this is what, like 10 extra last hits for Lulu?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
quick
adding
look at
up.
the net worth. He's 600 gold ahead, pretty much.
Yeah.
We could see the first death on Moist as well, as Lulu might look to actually dive the tower here. Oh my god, he touched the edge of that March of the Machines, dropping to 85 HP.
It's only going to take one more laser, I think. 150 damage, 125 health.
It's true, he's healing up. Slowly but surely, he has made it over the 150 mark, so he will be safe from the laser.
Going to be
And
desperate for this 6-minute
He's waiting
rune.
for this rune. Oh, but Lulu's coming down to contest it. He doesn't... Is he going to go? It's not there! It's not there!
Stop!
Oh, Moist!
What a tease!
So unfortunate. He has now got a clarity out. He could do with a salve. He's got a salve ready to go. It's in his quick buy using the new auto buy feature. So he's going to get that as soon as possible.
You got to think though, it's kind of too little, too late at this point. Lulu's farming up a storm.
Yeah, and he's going for this tower as well. I mean, what's Lulu buying here? He's working on a Kaya. My God. He's got the Null's Talisman working on a Kaya. This is one of those of, you can go the Kaya, but would you be better just getting 4 Null's Talismans and clicking the man down? Like,
as you say, the game's not going to go on that long. So
yeah, like it could be, but again, it could stretch out. You know, you could manage to defend your tower a long time. I mean, at this rate, I don't see it happening. The tower is not taking damage to the march, so myth busted. We also presented
well, that
the
is
myth.
actually a relief. I don't know what I'd do if Scotteh found out that it did damage to towers as well. He's already been practicing the Tinker P4. So.
Yeah, I don't know what Moist Goblin would do if he found out that was going to do damage to the tower. I mean, it'd just be absolutely insane. Like, there'd be no way to stop it. At least if stuff's clicking his tower, you can try and kill it or, you know, suggest it moves away aggressively, but...
Aggro it away. They finally get the D-Ward.
And a second Null's Talisman coming out on AA, so... They're actually pretty spot on in terms of XP. So not a ton of denies have been happening.
Demons.
Oh, actually, a similar amount of denies have been happening.
I think the denies these days, I don't know whether it's just me, they feel like they do nothing. I was playing Sniper the other day and I got like 40 denies in the lane. We came out the lane the same level as the other dude.
Did he also have 40 denies in the lane?
No, I don't think so. Maybe they did.
Oh, an AD rune about to be picked up by Lulu. AD, March of the Machines. I mean, this could be big. And the ability to TP base and TP back again.
This is what comes in clutch now.
Can't even select his hero because he's stuck here. Oh, the keen convenience. Coming back into lane with the March of the Machines. Hasn't popped that AD yet. So Moist Goblin now just getting some more tangos out, so that's nice to see, and now has a second Null's Talisman. But, you know, this is kind of the thing of Null's Talisman, 5 intelligence, Staff of Wizardry, 10 intelligence. So he doesn't get any of the stats for it on Lulu, but the extra 5 intelligence will be very nice compared to what Moist Goblin has.
I think what Moist Goblin needs right now is mana. Because you've got your ult, yes, but you can't use it unless you got mana.
And maybe like another hero in the lane.
Yeah.
Or at least like, you know, the Lone Druid bear. Some sort of ice bear.
Well, we could see one of our gamers go for the old Helm of the Dominator. Get a friend in.
I don't think the jungle creeps spawn, so... Oh, no, they do spawn. Okay, fair enough.
They're there.
So yes, you could go Helm of the Dominator, get himself a buddy. I don't know how well that buddy would fare in March of the Machines.
I think they might perish rather rapidly.
Like, it does just make me think that, like, you know, Tinker would absolutely demolish in a Pokemon gym.
Just lay down the machines.
Yeah. Pikachu, I choose you. Oh no, I've thrown you into March of the Machines. Whatever is happening here.
Whoops. The AD rune is popped now.
I think it's popped automatically though. He's not chosen to cast it, but the March is doing well. There is an arcane here. Could see him go for it on Moist Goblin. I would actually quite like to see a blink on Tinker here.
Blink.
The ability to sort of play a bit more aggressively, you know, blinking, get a big laser, march the machines. I think that would drive towards some early kills.
Just straight blink though, before the Kaya.
I guess the Kaya's, but you know, double null tally blink maybe instead of going for the Kaya. He does now have the Kaya, so I can't say too much. But this is one of the least aggressive 1v1s I think I've cast on one of these episodes.
But these guys know that they have to get kills and towers, or they just
well, they know it's kills or towers really. So, but neither of them wants to lose. I mean, this could set the tone for the grand final tonight. You know, this is technically the first game of the day for these two teams. Moist getting very low there. I think he's still not as. That's not the lowest he's been. He's been lower than that. He does need to base, I think, is the big thing. But I think if he bases, his tower takes so much damage at this point that it's over. Lulu just looking to dive. I mean, he has 1,000 HP, nearly 1,100. There is 1,000 on AA, but obviously not for the past 10 minutes.
Not at the moment. There's a salve and a clarity coming out.
And back to base goes Lulu. This TP is the most ridiculous thing ever for this 1v1.
Yeah, it's really good.
The thing is, I'm not even going to call Lulu out and say that it's like he picked it for the TP or something. Like, he picked it because it's his hero.
Yeah, and he plays it well.
He really
That's what we're seeing.
Unfortunately, Moist Goblin doesn't have mana for an ult. I think this is kind of the problem. He needs to get more mana, and then maybe he needs to land this cold feet into Ice Vortex, probably.
So I was just thinking, I think...
Then hit with the ult.
My instinct is to say that the AA has the advantage in terms of spells. Because you have the Ice Blast, and that just nullifies all the healing Lulu will get from
that's true.
And just so much damage, especially with the Ice Vortex. But the problem is there hasn't been any mana, and the mana pool is so small at this stage in the game. It's tough. It's tough.
Very tough. But again, I honestly I'm not sure if he can base. He's getting clarities out. I think he just needs to get mangoes. He's going for a Void Stone.
He needs some mana somehow. I don't think it matters how he the clarities are
now
coming
with the
off.
illusion rune, Lulu gonna push the tower here. Good amount of damage coming out. March the machines up to try and keep the creeps and the Moist Goblin off him.
And Moist Goblin cannot stand in that much.
Not at all, not for a second. Oh, the damage on the laser! That's going to be the first kill. My god, how much damage did that do? 300 damage. Man's been walking around on 200 HP for the past sort of 3 minutes, and finally we get the damage out from Lulu, who's just realized, skill the laser, skill it high, and get the job done. Tower now taking a lot of damage. I think this goes down before Moist Goblin comes back up here.
Yeah. It's definitely getting low, down to 300 HP. I'm interested to see what happens now. Moist Goblin comes back. He's sent the Ice Blast ahead. He wants to go. It's now on.
Oh my god, it's coming! It's huge! It hits!
It's not enough.
It's not, but I did think it was all over just with the tower, and then he TP'd back in, and you said he sent it ahead, and I saw that was I honestly would never think to do that. Not in a million years.
That was a nice play. That was a really nice play.
Unfortunately,
TP's
back to base, heals up full, TP's back to lane.
I don't know what Moist can do about this now.
I mean, he has mana now, he has some bottle charges, but...
There's only one level advantage. He's done well to...
The regen rune could be big here.
Keep the XP even is a great job for Moist.
Chat calling for a Dagon rush. I mean, it could be the play, but I think it might be a little late
Lulu's
for the Dagon rush.
up.
But oh, he is. Oh, the ult's not available quite yet. Coming up in 1 second. Get one more chilling touch. Get the chilling touch. Get the chilling touch. He gets it. And the freeze. The cold feet. He kills him.
Oh.
The return kill tied up on 1-1. I can say one thing for certain, chat. Due to time constraints, this is definitely going to be a best of one.
Oh no, we can take this to a best of 3. We can take this to a best of 3. This is fine. I'll be quick on the old awards later.
We definitely can't. We got an interview in 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness, I was not ready for Moist.
I wasn't, no, but he had mana. He had mana and he used it and he made it work. So what this is exactly what you were saying earlier. He manifested it. Roshan now coming down. This could be tricky. He's gonna get grabbed. Not quite.
So close.
I think he decided he didn't want to get trapped on the wrong side of Roshan there and thought he better make a dive for the other side.
Either that or he'd have to stand in the march for far too long.
Now, coming back in for another fight. Out goes another AA ult. Chilling touch, cold feet, not quite gonna land, but out comes the ice vortex. He's gonna go down. 2 kills to Moist Goblin. The comeback is real. His tower has a mere 298 HP against 1254 on the Radiant Tower, but this man with mana is unstoppable.
This is a carty wave. 20 seconds still.
Could be big damage.
20 seconds of damage.
This could even out the towers. Very big. Lacking on mana now, but has nearly finished a Kaya, so will be double Nully Kaya with a Void Stone, as opposed to double Nully Kaya. He is building the Blink now, though, on Lulu.
Glyph coming out. Pulling the creeps around.
Did Moist realize he had a glyph? Because it feels like he should have glyphed earlier.
I don't know.
I hadn't considered the glyph, I'm going to be honest, but...
No, me neither. I'm not sure if this is... Well, okay, no, it's fine. He's taking under tier 2. So
it is first to 3 kills, chat. It's first to 3 kills or the tier 1 tower. That's standard mid-only rules.
Yeah, so Moist has manufactured this win condition of 1 more kill.
It's insane. The tower's now incredibly even, 298 to, well, 522. They look even, though, when you just sort of pan over and, you know, looks pretty even. Invis rune coming up from the bottle on Moist Goblin. He could invis himself around the side. There is a lot of sentries up, to be fair. Lulu going back to base once again.
I think Moist needs to get some mana up.
Oh, he needed to
do the same again.
He's fucked it. So when you turn invis with an invis rune in a bottle, you can bottle 1 time. I think it's within like the first 3 seconds or so. You can bottle 1 time without coming out of invis, but he waited a little long and did cancel the invis rune.
Well, that's interesting. Did not know that. I'm learning so much. With all these tournaments, I always find out
Look,
so much stuff I just didn't know about Dota.
I cast 4 days of GTI Open qualifiers, and I learned so much from that. I was playing with Seething the other day, and I was like, oh, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. And he's like, man casts Puppy like twice and thinks he's a pro player. And I'm like, I genuinely learned so much. And afterwards he was like, you have actually improved. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's crazy.
It's almost as if watching people who are good at the game might
it's almost like casting the game and actually paying attention to it, as opposed to just having it up on another monitor and completely ignoring it while you play Hearthstone.
Voice is going in deep.
Helps.
Lulu's going to get stunned up.
He could lose enough health here. He's going to go down. That's the 3rd kill. That's game over. But it hasn't ended.
We keep going? This is surely tower, though.
I mean, yeah, let's keep going for the tower. Fuck it. I was going to tell him that's game, but...
Tinker doesn't have buyback.
He's back in 25 seconds. I think Moise gets the tower, so let's let him get it. I've realized my error, actually. I put it on mid only, not 1v1 mid.
Ah, okay.
So this will actually go for eternity, but we'll let him get the tower.
Well, listen, Moist. I thought it was a done deal.
What a game. Very good.
Excellent performance from Moist Goblin there. Coming back from basically nothing, being forced out of the lane and being shoved like horrendously badly by March of the Machines. Manages to secure the kills, and Lulu deciding to not level up the defense matrix. I feel like the shield.
Lulu just needs to GG, and then we can have our go. Seething in chat saying, nice to see Lulu coming for his job on the mid lane. I mean, he did really well in terms of farm and such. Do you know what I mean? If this was an actual mid lane, I don't think it's the worst thing.
Yeah.
There we go. There's GG.
Smashed.
Well, there we go. I'm a man after Scotteh's heart. With he didn't put the first game of the season on the ticket, and I didn't put this on the right game mode.
It happens.
It's one of those. Fuck. Oh well, but a great game from both of them. I want to see who did more. Like, I want to see the damage stats.
Look at the graph. The graph is something to behold.
Oh my god, the comeback. I
Such a
do
weird graph to look
I
at.
do like how Lulu was always had more gold. There was never a catch up. He was always ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. As I say, Moise had the spells, and all he needed was the mana to cast them. And it's
Like, as soon as he
paid off.
died, did Lulu throw the game by killing him? As soon as he died and came back with full mana and a bottle,
Yeah. Griefed by getting the kill.
griefed by trying to hoisted upon his own petard. Yeah,
That's a good point, actually.
slightly more damage done. Honestly, barely any building from each, but overall more damage done by Moist there, and obviously more damage received by Lulu as a direct correlation of that. I think I'd even go as far, and I know this is crazy for anyone who's maybe done like year 7 science, I'd go as far as to say that's a causation.
Indeed.
So,
I think you'd be correct.
So there we go. Well, that was our exhibition game. Thank you very much to both members for playing. Do we have a post-game chat? Nobody said anything. I don't know if they'll pop in chat. They might. I would have a chat with them, but we're very short. We've basically got to be in with Obst now. The schedule has gone very awry, but it is always the case, and we muddle through and we manage.
Well,
so yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can hang around if you want, or you feel free to dip out. I don't know if Scotty's actually here.
I am still here.
Oh, he's here. He's here.
I'm back. That was exciting though. That 1v1 was great.
Hey, it was close. I'm not sure what I was expecting, to be honest. I was worried it was going to go on for half an hour. I was worried that that it would be over in 2 minutes, and perfect. It's as if they knew. It's as if they knew what we were looking for, really.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I really thought the Tinker had it. Honestly,
It looked like the Tinker should have had it.
Yeah, the tower getting so low, and yeah, the glyph was an interesting revelation as well. I think for that, not expecting the glyph to come out.
The glyph was a little crazy. Yeah, just all of a sudden there's glyphs in this.
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah, brilliant gameplay.
Awesome. Cool.
Right,
okay.
Well, we will be moving on to our interview with one of tonight's upcoming captains, Mr. OBST, or Obst, as I believe he is commonly referred to. I don't know if there's a...
Yeah, I've never had it confirmed how you're supposed to address him, so I tend to just go for Obst.
maybe we can get a... what's it called in journalism? Am I just forgetting my terms? An exclusive. We can get the exclusive on what we should be calling him.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone might have to bring him in here.
I think this is the open casting.
Oh, is this the open one? Oh, not the hidden one that I got stuck in the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. He's in here.
Go.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just had an absolute blast watching my support player stomping a Tinker on mid lane. So,
were you worried?
I was not worried for a split second even. I mean, to be fair, I've had like 10 different times during the first 5 minutes. He probably should have gone back to base to regen, but he's probably not playing that much mid lane. So.
It's a common thing in all of these games that Sylar always shouts at people about during my casts, is either A, not buying more regen, or B, not going back to base to regen. Everyone just hangs on like 300 HP in a dream.
Like it's quite hard to judge often when you should go back to base or stay around, but most of the times it's actually worth missing like 1 or even in worst case 2 lanes, but to have full resources back up than just hanging around and can't go into lane for last hits or experience so.
Well, there you go, a teaching opportunity. You can keep an eye on him in tonight's games and check he's not just sitting there on, as we saw, I think, 200 HP, 0 mana, and...
I mean,
Following up to my own words is hard.
you're allowed to swap roles, of course. So after that performance, you might say, "Oh well, let's give him a run in the mid lane,
Let's
maybe."
give him AA mid. You can take support
mean-
Kunkka.
Honest to God, he probably do way better on mid lane than I would do on support. So
There was a suggestion when I was talking to someone about the exhibition match that they wanted to see a match where we put two teams against each other and the cores have to play support and the supports play core. And I think depending on the players, that could be absolute hell.
yeah, I feel like I would drag down my team so hard. It's not even close. So.
I actually think most carry players would get very tilted when someone started telling them to buy wards.
No, the thing is, with our team, when, for example, Sleepy Moon plays support from time to time, but he just plays support in theory. Like, he picks a hero like Dark Willow or something, and you won't see him in lane after 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes later he has a scepter or something, so yeah.
So, to kick things off and get into the meat of the interview, I suppose, the big question, at least on our minds, are we supposed to say OBST or OBST?
Oh, it's actually Obst, so it's a German word, Obst, which means fruits. So it's like the overall name for all kinds of fruits. And like I have this fruit drawing as my profile picture and stuff like that. So I'm just a big bowl of fruits.
I feel like that's a big lore dive that I had absolutely no idea about. I've never questioned the profile picture. Not once. Not ever. I'm gonna actually have to have a look at it now. Yeah, it's a bowl of fruit. Sorry, I'm lost for words. I did not expect that to be the answer. Every time I say your name and say OBST, I just think Halo 3 OBST. Although,
I mean,
that's
Halo
OD.
3 is quite a good game, so that's fine.
So it is Obst, or technically correctly, Obst.
Yes, Obst, if you want to go deep dive into German pronunciation. But...
All right, hang on, I'll have a go, and then Scott can have a go. Say it again.
Obst.
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 It sounded absolutely amazing.
I think we nailed it. The
I'll
cast
do my best later. I've no promises there.
I'm expecting something like, oh, they've gone in. This spell's been cast, and it's Obst on the Fango.
Big pause. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's worth for fluent cast, but you guys will do great.
So yeah, tonight's game. Let's get into it. Going up against Sit Out. Did you have a preference of whether you got Sit Out or Gub Cord? Did you think you'd maybe be able to take one of them but struggle more against the other?
I mean, I sort of had a personal preference, as I feel like Sieving and my hero pools kind of overlap, so it's kind of tough to ban each other's heroes out because we always ban ourselves. So just for my personal mid lane matchup, it probably would have been more interesting with more hero diversity to play against Gubcord. But in general, both Sidat and Gubcord are great teams, very fun to play against. So, we were happy with either, I'd say.
So obviously you were in the game, which was deciding this. You were standing in on the mid lane. Was no one worried that you were just gonna, maybe have your own agenda there? Maybe you wanted to play Sit Out, so you just, edge things out in a couple of games, or you try really hard, make sure Sit Out are in the bin for it, and then Gubcord's tactics coming into the next game.
I mean, like, I had motivation to stand in and play good, to show Sieving how to play Kunkka properly. So I'd say that was enough motivation there for me to do well, especially as we have like two different ideas how to play Kunkka. He always goes like the Bracer Radiance build, and I just go TP boots into straight up Daedalus for right click build. But Sorian just asked me if I'm available, as I already stood in for them for one series during group stage, which turned out quite well. So,
I mean, it definitely did turn out quite well. I mean, your Kunkka that first game, I think, was the driving force behind the victory, to be honest. You in those side lanes, just making sure they couldn't push anything, just really shut them down trying to go early.
I mean, yeah, but also like Gubcord played amazing, especially in game 1 and in game 2. Receiving beat my Conquer honestly with his Necrophos, and in game 3 he just played really well on the Conquer as well. So I'd say technically it's a 1-1 between us playing Conquer. So let's see what happens tonight. If it goes through, even. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might be banned. I could see it being banned. Have you done any draft prep for tonight? Are you ready to go, or are you still got to do that after?
Well, we have like a basic idea about what we're gonna do, but nothing that has changed compared to group stage, I'd say.
Okay.
So,
Are you worried about the Oracle himself, Seething, who claims to be able to predict everyone's drafts and ban them out and guide them onto what he wants to play against?
I mean, what did you say before when you were discussing like the heroes that haven't been picked so far in the tourney? That you guys are not ready for my Arc Warden. So, let's see if Seething will predict that.
Yeah, I mean, you could just draft an entire team of uncontested heroes, and nobody's predicting that. Nobody's banning them. Is that so? Possibly a bit of foreshadowing there that we might see something tonight, something new.
Not sure.
I didn't think you'd say anyway.
I'd say we were actually quite flexible, depending on how drafts develop, to also pick up some random stuff. But I don't want to give a promise that you will see me on Arc Warden. It might be a bit of a stretch.
Well, it also, if you promised us and then, I mean, you can't promise Scotteh, the tournament organizer, that you are going to play Arc Warden and then have it banned out in front of you or something, or just massively countered and then not play it. I mean, he might just kick you out and give the win to sit out.
Yeah, I'm really scared of the penguin that likes Kaboom, so...
Well, I wasn't expecting the Arc Warden anyway, I think, because I don't know if I've seen you play a non-melee mid, basically ever, in any of the games I've cast of Spherical. So it would be a real surprise without the Arc Warden, I think, but yeah.
I've heard that there is like this rumor that I don't enjoy playing ranged heroes. I have no idea where this is coming from.
Yeah, I might be perpetuating it as well. That might.
So we've had a couple of we've noted on a couple of things with different teams, like, you know, Catastrophe being pushed onto Centaur a lot, and in my team, Yuhu has basically played Jakiro and Shadow Shaman for most of the tournament. Have you got any players who are sick of their heroes and are sort of begging for something new in the draft, or?
I mean, that's kind of interpretation on my side, but I'd say that in theory, Moist Goblin before the game always says, yeah, he could play this or that and like new stuff. And then during the draft, we go back to, but like Clockwork looks really good here. Or have you considered Snapfire or something? Ah, shit, here we go again. So...
I mean, surely you got to have him on AA after that performance.
Yeah, I will have to talk with him about it because I'm scared if he picks AA, he just looks at mid lane, and the last tip I miss, he will just say, "I'm taking over from now." So,
that's my mid lane now.
I have to use my authority as team captain here.
I mean, also his performance there could have just secured a ban on AA, which would maybe free something else up for you. So that might be nice.
I mean, I'd say Lulu probably is pretty scared from the AA now. So
you're gonna just let the Tinker through, knowing that Moist can beat it on the AA.
Actually, not sure. I would have to look up if we consider Tinker ban worthy or not. But I know that Lulu is super annoying on this hero. So
I mean, yeah,
we'll have to see.
I don't know about you personally. I find with sit out, there's a big worry about their supports. I think any hero they pick up is pretty annoying. I mean, you've got Wurzag on the Disruptor, on the Lich, on the Clockwork. Then you got Lulu on the Tinker or on the Hoodwink, or on anything else. Do you know what I mean? There's this array of heroes that they've played, and they always perform.
And the thing is, like, Hoodwink has been my personal kryptonite for such a long time, but like for the last half a year, it's actually been fine. I'm not as traumatized as I've been before from this fucking swirl. So the Hoodwink they might get.
Did
if they
you
want to.
did you see the kill that he got onto Larry in the semi-final on Friday? I mean, this man's hacking on Hoodwink. He's insane.
I saw the bushwhack actually. Yeah, I remember now.
He hits insane bushwhacks. He killed Larry with a sharpshooter that I swear didn't even hit him. He's hacking the hitboxes. Scotty saw it firsthand. He was in the cast. He'll tell you.
A sharpshooter feels like punch hook at times. Like no fucking way that hits. But, here we go.
I said to Seething after I saw it, I said, if that had been me on a pudge, that hook wouldn't hit. The hook wouldn't hit there. It's just that sharpshooter. And I'd argue it's just Lulu's sharpshooter.
Yeah, you have to check him PCs. So I don't know. It's very sus.
Well, I mean, we did have the discussion whether or not cheats have been left enabled, so maybe he's just boosting hitboxes in the game.
Surely that gotta be the reason. Also, like the March of the Machines looks so big. I swear to God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's so good in lane. It's so oppressive, and even in fights, you end up with a march or two down across the middle of a fight. It can be a game changer.
Or also, it might just be that Lulu is playing insanely well. That might also be.
That's always the case, but you know. So going into tonight's game, it's in 45 minutes. What's your prep look like from now until the game? Sort of you and the rest of the team.
Well, I gotta eat something. Then
is it a special meal, brain food? I don't know what counts as brain food. What are you having?
I'm a big sucker for cashews, so I'd definitely throw some cashews in there, which are supposed to be good for brain. And
Bird in chat suggesting you have some fruit, or as we have now learnt, some Obst.
I don't support cannibalism, but hell yeah, fruits are great. So, now just like I got some really good bread yesterday.
Nice.
And now then we just meet up a couple of minutes before. Probably give a lot of praise to Moist Goblin for his insane mid lane performance. And then we have a discussion about the AA pick or not, and whether he will take over mid or not. And then we just jump right into the game, I guess, and take it as it goes.
It's no big team talk, no strategy meeting, just in and fly by the seat of your pants.
We might lack the character of, I don't know, like a Seb or something that gives the big speech. Maybe Clarby can take this over. He sometimes has these moments.
If you do it, you've got to record it. We want to know what he says.
Okay, I'll keep it.
I want a big, like Lord of the Rings style speech, or like Winston Churchill. I want we'll fight them in the top lane. We'll fight them in the jungle.
Let me quickly call the Munich Symphonic Orchestra for background support, and then we have the epic music as well.
Excellent. That sounds perfect. That sounds like exactly what you need leading into such a big event.
For sure.
So, if you were going to make a prediction for tonight, what would you? I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be Spherical out on top for your prediction. That's not my guess for the final score. But what are you predicting? 2-0, 2-1, 3-0 by some weird. I don't know if Scotty fucks it up.
Like expecting that I'd say, are fairly matched as teams. It probably will be a 2-1. Of course, I hope it will be a 2-1 for Spherical, but it won't be easy. So that our grain team all around on literally any position. So you have to bring up our A game, and it's also that given with this like more or less 1.5 2-week break we now had, we might not be as much on a roll as we've been doing group stage.
Have you been
drew the first 2 series and then won everything?
Have you been playing together in that time, or have you kind of been on a little hiatus?
At least for myself, I haven't played much out of the tourney.
Okay.
I think we might have played one game together.
Well, there you go.
During the break.
Well, bit of practice, just keep it sharp. Do you have a preference on whether you sort of so say it goes 2-1 as you're expecting? Do you have a preference if you sort of win the first game, win and then lose the second, win the last, or do you want to lose the first, win the next two? How does Spherical cope with sort of the morale of losing a game and then going into another one?
I'd say, generally speaking, we are not the worst mentally, but we are quite a momentum-based team. So, like, if I'd had to choose, we win 2-1 and we have to lose one game, I'd probably say I'd rather lose the first.
Okay.
So we can take the momentum from second game win into third game. But I'm afraid it's not like a Make-A-Wish concert here. So we take it as it comes and we'll make the best out of it.
Is anyone on the team particularly good at boosting the morale after a loss, or is it sort of a group effort? Because I know some teams will have a particularly negative person, a particularly positive person, and everybody in between.
So obviously, like we played together for quite a long time, already participated in quite a few of these tourneys now, and I'd say every one of us has their moments to shine with morale boost. So I'd honestly argue that I'm the worst at it. Funnily enough, I'm the captain. Not sure if that's a good thing or not then, but Spartamart has moments where he boosts up team morale, as well as Klavi, Moist Goblin. Sleepy Moon tends to turn rather quiet when things don't go well, but also has his moments where he says everything is fine and stuff. Especially when I'm complaining again, man, mid is so hard or whatever. He's one of the first to keep me on track. So I'm surrounded by great people that keep both me on track, but the whole team.
Well, that's great. I mean, yeah, just as you mentioned it about like you may not be the best even though you're the captain, it doesn't have to be the captain's job to do everything. It's your job to make sure that you have someone who can do all of these things. So if you know someone's going to pick up the slack and boost the morale, then you're golden.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, yeah, I wish you the best of luck along with the rest of the lads. You're onto an early boost with the exhibition match win. Obviously, it's got to help.
Technically, we're already up 1-0 now. Right?
I'm sorry, it's not on the ticket.
Yeah, the ticket. We missed the ticket on that one. Sorry.
Oh, fuck. My bad. My bad.
Happens to the best of us. It's okay.
You are, of course, the reigning champions as well. I guess the only question for me really is any additional pressure to defend your crown from last year.
Ooh.
Like before the tourney started, it was a bit of a thing we thought about, like when we got all together. And actually, since the last GFG has been the last time that we, as the original like Germany-based stack, played together in a tourney. So it was great to get together, and obviously there came up the nostalgia of we won last time. It's been great, but during the tourney we didn't put much thought into it. Now we just took it game by game, and obviously it's a great motivation to be so far the only team winning a GFG Invitational, and maybe keeping up that a point, but. It's hard, it's hard. So we're just thankful that we can participate again, that we came so far to the final, and we'll do our best.
Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck from us.
Yeah, good luck, and thank you very much for joining us and giving your side of things. Thank
you so much for having me, and also thank you to both of you guys, and mainly Falcus for like doing such a cool show, pre-show. Been a blast to watch it.
I'm glad.
Also, a big thank you to everyone casting during the tourney, or just hanging around in chat, in the Discord, posting memes and stuff. And obviously for supporting us during our games. Yeah. Very welcome. I'm sure everyone would agree. You've put on a great show. So yeah, we look forward to tonight. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. See you. Right, well, there we go. That was Obst, as we now know.
Obst, yeah.
I'm expecting you do that one in the cast spot. You
I'm
better. You're
definitely
going to
forget it before the cast because we've got like.
I'm
more
sorry,
stuff in
Scotty, but
between, I'm gonna forget.
if you mispronounce his name, it's culturally insensitive, and
I've
I
at least
just don't think that's acceptable.
at least got to do it at the start when I introduce everybody and who they're playing. If I miss it then there's no hope of me getting it in a team fight or any other time.
I mean, look, I think he'll accept obst. So we'll go.
Yeah.
He'll accept obst, but I think you should go for obst. Maybe you just have to get on Duolingo.
Yeah, it'll boot up mid-game, mid-cast. Yeah.
Right, well, let's get straight in. If we can get Seething in here, I don't think he can get in here himself as he hasn't cast anything, so someone might have to drag him down here. But we do have Seething coming up straight after. We were going to have them slightly separate, but scheduling has changed. And welcome to Top Goon Seething.
Hello there.
Hello.
How you doing? How's your day been? You've been out board gaming, haven't you?
Oh, I've been very busy. I think like my brain chemistry is definitely skewed going into tonight's matches because obviously there was the roller coaster emotion on Friday. And then my entire Saturday was spent huffing model glue wins, huffing primer paints as I desperately try and get my models ready for my friend's like tabletop game that was earlier today. So going into tonight's match, I'm either like hitting like Zen mode of like perfect, all the stars align, or I am just a stout glue huffing mess. There's no in between.
I do love the idea that potentially the sit out supercomputer is not actually a real thing. It's actually just you get high on glue
Yeah.
and imagine that there's a computer drafting and it's all like in your head the whole time or something.
I mean, the phrase "a glue sniffing mess" is a little worrying. It just sounds like you're just a solvent abuser.
I mean, the glue has been on my desk for the last like 36 hours as I've been like hopping in and out of Dota games between like the models drying. So I mean, there's a non-zero chance of solvent abuse.
Deary me. So irrespective of the possible drug issues affecting Team Sit Out at the moment. That would be the headline in the papers. I'd just like to point out. That's what the tabloids are running. How are you feeling ahead of tonight's game? How's the confidence levels over there in the sit out camp?
Like I'm cautiously optimistic. Like I like to think that we have a very good chance of getting some good games off of Circle. I have said to the guys that they are a very good side. Like it's not really a shame to lose to them. Like they are very good at Dota. They're a very well coordinated team. But cautious optimism is what I would describe it as.
Okay. You've just heard. Well, I'm assuming you've just heard, as you were in the chat. Obst predict the 2-1 that he wants. Would you have a prediction going in?
Well, I think perhaps it's 3-0 now. If we're counting. If we're counting like Lulu getting demolished for not buying shoes on mids, we could be staring down the barrel of a 3-0 here.
He had unlimited TP, he didn't need shoes.
Maybe like, come on, you're playing into AA. Like all the man does is slow you. Like if you can't walk out cold feet, like please buy shoes.
Yeah, true. You make a good point, man. I mean, maybe he was just lost without your leadership.
No, I think maybe he just doesn't want to like be seen as a threat to like my role.
You think he was going
mid farm?
Okay, I thought you were suggesting he was sort of going like, "Hey, my Tinker might be good in lane, but look how it gets demolished after 10 minutes, and I only get one kill." So I mean, maybe leave it in. I mean, who knows? Like it could be really shit.
Nothing like that. It felt like if this was like a challenge run for like, I'm going to take over the mid lane. It's like, no, you can't do it now. Like you're getting destroyed. But to be fair, AA mid is like miserable to lane into. Like I'm very happy that Ops doesn't play it because it is awful to lane into. Like he just sits there and throws ice in your eyes pretty much every 8 seconds as long as he can see you, and you just have to kind of sit there and deal with it. For as long as the laning phase is happening. So, I mean, I can understand losing to AA mid. Like, it's just painful.
I would just like to say the new tabloid headline is something along the lines of, like, support throws big match to save captain's fragile ego.
Yes.
Like I feel like the sit out PR team is going to have a lot to do tomorrow. Like after Scotty and I sell all these stories to the Daily Mail.
To the Daily Mail, come on. Falcus.
Hey, they've been following the GFG closely.
This is the Daily Star.
Fine, the Liverpool Echo. So, I assume it's not like this is a knowledge that I can't reveal. I worry sometimes because you tell me a lot, so I don't want to reveal anything that's. I feel like you possibly purposefully haven't told me too much, just so that maybe you fear that as a clear journalist in this regard that I wouldn't be able to stop myself revealing it. But you did a lot of draft prep last night.
Yes, I did. Between model making, I was like in the PowerPoint, like staring at like the little draft boxes that I have in my PowerPoint slides, and I was thinking about like, what's the best way to like kind of like think of a good draft for dealing with spherical. I put time and effort into it, and then I kind of get the lads into the drafting thing, and like so into the match itself, and then it all kind of goes out the window. Like very very rarely does it actually come down to like the PowerPoint plan, like word for word. It's always like, oh, do you feel like playing this? No. I'm like, okay, cool. We're gonna have to find something else then. And that's if you ever see us running low on reserve time, it's because like we've gone off script. And we're like, okay, what do we actually want to play here?
You're the captaincy, then you tell them shut the fuck. You've been playing with these boys for ages. You tell them shut the fuck up, play your hero, and do as you're told.
No, I need to keep them sweet. I need to keep them like the illusion of choice. Like
That's because. You've been you've claimed yourself that you've predicted people's drafts very well. I mean, I think it's only me really who's referred to you as the oracle of the draft, but you claim that you're sort of manipulating enemies into picking the heroes you want to see them on. Are you doing that to your own team as well? Are you sort of you suggest a hero they don't want, so then they are more amicable to a hero you do want them to play?
No, what I try and do is a couple of days before the matches, I present like a mock draft, and I just kind of leave it in the Discord, and I sort of give them like 3 options of what I would like to see them on, and then they have like a good 24 hours at least to kind of like be like, hey, I don't want to play this, or hey, this would be good, or can we do something else, or something like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, I think Lulu did it once where he just posted a match of like, hey, I really popped off on this hero, can we potentially run it? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm just going to go and alter things. I wouldn't call it like manipulative. It's more like you get your orders from on high a couple of days before the match.
Marching orders come out, and then you got a couple of days of leave to say your goodbyes to the heroes that you love.
Exactly.
2 days to get all that axe or all that death profit out of your system. Catastrophe. So you mentioned the PowerPoints there. So you've been making these PowerPoints throughout the whole. This is new for this GFG, isn't it?
Yes. No, I think I only started it after playing against Spherical. We played against Gubcord first. I did a bit of my usual homework of like I look up there, have a little Word document open, and I look up like what stuff I want to ban. And then after Spherical, I was like, okay, we're going to try something different where I'm going to write down what picks we want, because part of the issue we had is like we have in Gubcord and Spherical, we had a very strong game 1, and we had kind of a ropey game 2, because I had a very clear idea of what I want to do game 1, and then game 2, it's more like, yeah, let's try something different. Let's do something else. And that often meant that we kind of got outdrafted massively. I think what was it on Gubcord? Like we ran like POS4 Nyx, which really jeopardized how well our offlane could do, and it didn't really synergize with the rest of the stuff. And then versus Spherical in game 2, we tried Underlord mid DP3, and we've sort of worked out that okay, no, this has severe damage issues. So going forward from there, I pretty much made like PowerPoints on what I want everyone to be playing, and just to let the guys know my thoughts and what I want the game to look like before we go in there, which would hopefully like give confidence, because I feel like if I was just kind of like rocking up and be like, hey, I want you on this, and it's like, hold on, I've not played this in like 2 weeks, so I like to give the guys warning on what I want them to play and what I want to see them on. You know.
I mean, I've sat in on your team briefings before, so I have a bit of insight here, and it's pretty thorough. So compared to Obes saying that do you know what I mean? They hop in a call, 2 minutes before the game and just fly by the seat of their pants, like, and they've done very well as well. Do you worry that whereas you're trying to predict what they're going to do and maybe struggling with that they're just ready to react rather than doing research and doing things proactively?
I mean, there's pros and cons to both sides. Like, being adaptable in the draft is like can be really helpful, like, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you can do like a bit of an odd pick order. Like, as long as you have some idea of what you want to ban, you can be like, oh, I want to try this, or I want to try this, and it can be difficult to predict that if you know that the enemy team's going to kind of take it as it comes. Whereas if you do kind of do that prep, it's easy. I think I prefer doing it like my way, but I can understand sort of taking it as it comes, honestly. But
kind of sounds like it's my way, but the highway is available if you want it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's my way or the highway these days. Like, I do sometimes suggest like, oh, do we want to try any drafts? And then someone will reply with like, oh, can we try ring strat where we have like 5 heroes that have rings? And I'm like, okay, this is why I draft.
I did have an idea for like running a tournament. There was a post on Reddit where someone had categorized all of the heroes into sets of 5, so you could have a team with different like I guess different what's the word, not vibes, anyway, themes, that's the word, with different themes. And I thought it would be so funny to play a tournament where the team just has to pick a theme that they are going to play that game, and they have to play all 5 heroes in that category.
Yes, no, I'm actually really on board with this.
So like they have to play the hell heroes or the water heroes or the like the heaven heroes.
Yeah, no, I liked that. I think it was done in one of the in-houses at some point where like it was like, oh, or like the wood heroes or the blood heroes.
Yeah.
And then
but it's like you don't get a pick. You've got to pick, rather than drafting a team, you draft a set of 5 heroes.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was quite fun because there was like a banning phase of like, oh, here's the 12, and then each captain bans 3 teams, and then you have to pick which one was left. And I thought that was really fun.
Well, there we go. Maybe we will have to run it. So going into tonight's game, I mean, it's very soon now. How long ahead are you guys meeting up? Or are you straight in after this?
I usually like kind of gather the lads about quarter of an hour before the game just to kind of have a chat, like see how everyone's doing, run them through what slides I have prepared, just kind of like mentally kind of prep them before the match. So yeah, normally about like a quarter of an hour.
Are you guys having any brain food? Is that sort of like mandatory? Everyone's got to have their cashews? Or I'm only mentioning cashews because that's now the only brain food I know.
Yeah. No, I was on the Tesco ready meal chicken tikka masala this evening.
Hey, that's a good ready meal.
Nowhere nearly as healthy as like maybe that's the difference. Like, we'll do less prep, but we'll eat healthy, and I will eat junk and then do more prep.
You say healthy. As far as I got from that, he's eating cashews and bread.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the bottom of the pyramid for a balanced diet. Like,
that's
Sleepy Moon's eating mozzarella out of a bag right now. He says in chat. Well, there we go.
That's the secret to get to high ancient, eating mozzarella out of the bag.
And I've got to ask,
I'll never achieve it.
We briefly mentioned it earlier. It kind of got glossed over. And I have also mentioned it in casts a couple of times. It is confirmed that Sit-Out has its own in-house drafting tool.
Yes, we do.
This is personal. Is this Sit-Out property, technically?
Well, this was the thing, because basically, it was Catastrophe's idea like a couple of weeks ago to basically try and help me draft better. I'm not saying I was doing bad drafts, but he was like, "Oh, well, what if we could just save you some time?" Like doing this.
I think he's going to build a tool into it that makes it you pick the heroes he wants. The tool says Death Prophet's really good here. I mean, we can't leave it alone. We're going to have to pick it.
Yeah. So I think this little tool, it's not like as sophisticated as we kind of make it sound. Like it has kind of sounded like, I don't know, like kind of like evil supervillain computer, but in reality, I think it's just like something he made using ChatGPT and Dota Buff, which kind of gathers what people have been playing recently and tells, like, writes it out in like plain text, like, oh, this person's playing, I don't know, Death Profit, win rate 30%, or I don't know, like Pangolier, like 80%, and then it's like, oh, well, okay, maybe they're having success on this, maybe we should ban it. He's trying to add more features. Like there was one that he sort of added, which is like, oh, if they've abandoned a game recently, we put that into rage quits, and then like to try and ascertain like, oh, who's the most tiltable members of the enemy team, which I think needs work because like a lot of people just kind of have to leave because of IRL stuff. It doesn't mean that they're like a massive quitter.
I've not many people abandon stuff. I also think, like, you could write it in that if they've left because of an IRL event, then just a lack of commitment, really, isn't it?
Maybe, or either that, or they've got very exploitable IRL events, and then the sit-out assistants will go to their house and distract them. As we know, they're more likely to leave than everyone else glued to the screen.
Like, we know this guy abandoned his level 25 OD game because his wife went into labor. So now we just tell him his wife's in labor and jobs are good and he's going to leave.
Exactly.
Well, we wish you the best of luck tonight. I don't want to keep you too long. I want to give you time to get your briefing in order and get all your marching orders out, as the case may be. But yeah, I mean, we're hoping for a really good game.
I'm hoping for some good games as well.
I don't want to take the words out, Scotty. I'm hoping for a really good game. I won't put the words in your mouth, Scotty. I'll let you say it yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. I am, obviously it does involve either side losing a game, but I am excited and hoping it goes to 3 games, as it did on Friday. That was a really good series, and so anything like that is, going to be excellent. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
I guess it's got to be said, someone has to lose, but we hope everybody has fun.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Hearing myself say that, I wish I hadn't.
We just hope we lose slightly less than spherical. That's all we hope.
That's a fair hope. That is a fair hope. Well, thank you very much, and we'll let you get to your draft meeting.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
See you later.
See ya. Right.
I don't know if I need to move him
out. He can leave himself. He knows how he got in here. He can leave. Yeah, so this brings us to our final segment. I'm actually really excited for this guy. This is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, me too. I have no knowledge of what is about to be presented, so I'm excited. This is good.
I am going to have to get this up. We also need Obnot to return. Obnot, please return. He's sitting here silently waiting.
I'm ready to go.
He's so ready. Right, let me pull up your presentation that you sent me. This is when I open it up and it's just like a single picture.
Well, listen, I spent some time thinking about what I thought might deserve an award within this tournament, and I gave those a list of items for my fiance to put into a PowerPoint presentation, which he's done beautifully for you. So,
oh, he's got a PA.
Yeah, the assistant.
This is really good. Do you want to be on stream, by the way, Obnot? There's no requirement to be.
I certainly can be.
It is completely up to you. I can't seem to load up the document you sent me. Is it definitely public?
Oh no.
Or at least sort of link accessible, because.
Oh, let me sort that out.
Although I keep getting the error that. Oh, hang on. No, never mind. It might be my end. My main account no longer has. Why would it switch? Right, never mind. I'm gonna have to open this in an incognito tab. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going incognito. Well, technically, it's just private window because it's Firefox, not Google Chrome. Don't want to be giving anyone the wrong idea here.
I think it may have been my end as well, so I'll just send you another link in case that.
Maybe I'll try that link first before I try and remember my password for this account.
There you go, try
hey,
that
I'm in.
one.
No, let me. New link. Is it site? We're in! We're in.
We're in.
Great news.
Fantastic.
Oh, this looks so good.
She's
Did
done-
you
she's
want
done
to be on
work here.
stream, by the way? I zoned out when you.
Yes,
Yeah, go on then.
I'll turn my camera on now.
You will have to share a screen with. You guys will have
Oh,
to
you
share.
got the jacket on as well.
He's got a blazer
old
on. He's
jacket
ready
on.
to go.
Oh,
I'd love
mate,
to
that's
see
great.
it. Let me just fix you guys so that you're both actually on the screen.
Can be shown up by you lads. So
I mean, yeah,
You're
this
looking very dapper.
very real shirt is coming back.
There you go. You're both on. Happy
Very
days.
nice.
right.
Here we go then. Do you want?
Right.
You should introduce it.
Well, here we go. I'll start by saying anyone who knows me will know that this is about as carnage as you're expecting it to be. All of the awards are determined by my own opinion, which is often wrong. It's not intended to upset anyone. It's not intended to make anyone feel better about themselves. It's just a bit of fun. So here we go. Let's dive in. The first award.
Hang on? Do
up
I need
for
to say that
grabs.
Top Goon is in no way responsible for any of the opinions of Obnot?
That might be a good caveat to lay down.
I also do just want to say the actual statement. Welcome to the official GFG Invitational 2025 awards.
Here we go.
If we had sound effects, I'd play them now. Oh, there's effects! Sorry,
Oh,
I'm getting overexcited.
Is it on the stream already?
Oh, crap.
or can we share it?
We missed the
I
effects.
can't
I'm going
see them.
back. Good catch, boys. Good catch.
I was like, I can't see it.
Okay, sorry. Now, welcome to the GFG Invitational 2025 awards!
Let's go.
Yay! Actually, Scott, can you do me a favor? Do you still have the chat up?
I do, yeah.
Can you type !cheer? As now you're a sub from your Prime sub. This should work.
I've done it.
I'm
Exclamation point cheer.
waiting. It should do a thing. No, it doesn't do a thing anymore. Okay, I fucked that. I broke it. that was anticlimactic. Sorry.
I'll put some beans in instead. It's all good.
I'll share this to you boys actually as well. We're a very professional thing here. That's
This
why
is
everything.
a
That's why everything
professional
works for us
outfit,
seamlessly. Yeah, crap.
Right.
No, I need to not see this.
So the first award that's up for grabs is it's the award for best carry. Now, who do
Sorry,
you
I'm
lads
trying
think
to. I'm
I
trying
might
to
have,
fix something.
I might have selected for the best carry. This is all in the caveat that it's so far, by the way. There is still one more series to play. So
I mean, we've seen the top 5, right? Scotty's done the analysis, so
Somehow I'm thinking that Obnot might have picked. Actually, no. Knowing you won't have picked yourself, but you would have been tempted for the joke to do that.
that is valid. I was tempted to pick myself. I was tempted to put in an award for worst carry and select myself as well.
So I definitely think that Sleepy Moon is in with a shot here. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna say that given the chaotic nature of Obnot, Flow Zone is in with a shot here. And also, I want to say Vidi's in with a shot purely for that Muerta game.
Yeah, the recency bias was strong with Vidi there.
So I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with Sleepy Moon. I think it's the good guess, right? Do you have a prediction, Sky?
Yeah, I was going to say the same. Either
Alright.
that or EA Nasir. Maybe a mention of the Medusa game.
Do you want to announce
So
it like an Oscar?
it was a toss up between Ian Azir and Sleepy Moon in the end. As I say, Vidi had the recency bias, and I was tempted with Flow Zone, but I thought Kamai would not let me live if I selected that. So it goes to Sleepy Moon.
Nice.
There we go.
That makes sense. We got one. Congratulations, Sleepy Moon. Yeah, I feel like you need to announce it like the Oscars. You need to be like, the best carry goes to. And then I'll click it. I assume every page it comes up with the category and then the winner's the next one. Yeah.
Indeed, it does. And also, there's a little embellishment. If you click again,
logged in.
So this is completely unprompted by me as well. This has been added. There's a little emoji for every single person who's won an award today.
I love it.
The next category goes for best support duo.
Oh.
So who do I think has been the best two supports in the tournament?
This is on the same team, right? Like the
on the same
support
team.
combo.
Yes, yeah. The combination of two supports working together to secure the map, get kills, ganks, all this.
Now, I'm biased here as a clearly very undercover sitter. Like, you know, nobody would know this if I didn't outright say it. It wouldn't be clear from anyone's chats. I gotta say Lulu and Wurzag. That's who I'd give the award to. They're an absolute beastly pair.
I was thinking the same, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I guess like the spherical duo as well is pretty good.
Obviously.
But yeah, that was my thought. Yeah, yeah. Of course,
I also want to give an honourable shout out to, I think, Dor and Bernard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep,
both have their issues at times, but both have their moments. Like, my God, if we'd done the clips today, you'd see there's a phenomenal Earthshaker ult from Bernard. Would you like to announce or not?
Yeah. So as you rightly pointed out, there's some great plays across the board from a lot of the supports. Shout out to my supports, Braxy and Durambong. Did some great saves in all of our games. But the award this time round for best support duo goes to Lulu and Wurzag. Congratulations.
Very well deserved, I think.
I need to be better at timing the golf clap that I'll redeem in the.
I used to have like an exclamation point cheer thing, I'm sure, but that doesn't work anymore. It used to be a thing that subs could do.
Okay.
I well deserved. These guys baffle me every time.
Now we've got the standard
dream
ones, or what I would call the standard ones, out of the way. We come on to some more of the unusual ones. So the next award is for the most matches played. Now, you would assume in a tournament where everyone plays the same amount of matches, that everyone would play the same amount of matches. But obviously, a lot of the stand-ins have been playing for different teams. So who do you think has played the most amount of matches in...
This has to be...
Should we say it together? Should we say it together? 3, 2, 1...
Larry
Llama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the award for most matches does indeed go to Larry Llama. Congratulations. He's played 19 matches.
Oh, fucking hell.
19 games of Dota.
He's stood in for 7 games.
So
wow.
for that feat alone, you have deservedly earned your GFG Invitational award. Congratulations.
Teamwork. I'm just gonna shout everything that it says here as the little additions. Phenomenal.
Next up, this is my favorite one. I wanted to do so much more on this, but the sheer time it would take to figure it out. My longest time spent dead. So this is just in one game. What was the longest? Who spent the longest time dead in a single game? What I wanted to do was add up everyone's spent time dead across the entire tournament and see who spent the most time dead across the whole thing. But that is just sheerly too much work, and I wasn't willing to commit that much time to figuring it out. So this is just for one match.
I have no idea who this could be.
I know there was.
I feel we lean into the longer games.
Yeah, there's been a few games where people have been like over like 10 minutes spent dead. But yeah, not sure on this one at all. Don't even have a suggestion really.
I mean, part of me's worried it's me.
Me actually, but then I've been playing Wraith King, so I've kind of got away with it. I think.
I mean, it could be like Durambong. I'm gonna throw out.
Yeah. I think there was a low 13 minute or 12 minute death timer for Durambong in one of the games. But the award for the longest amount of time spent dead in one game, with a total time of 13 minutes and 3 seconds. I don't think you'll be surprised to hear is Catastrophe.
Oh, he wasn't even on my radar.
No.
A man who loves jumping in. It was the long game against us when we Medusa'd them. He spent 13 minutes dead.
My God, I mean, good job to him, I suppose. But my God, also Catastrophe, stop dying. This is 13 minutes of that game you weren't playing. How long was that game? Like 80 minutes or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. 67.
67.
Yeah,
oh God, it's like 5% of the game you weren't there. Is that right? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm not doing the maths.
Yeah,
Wah, wah.
I'm working it out. Next up, the award for best series.
Okay.
Oh, this is FGF OGs. It's got to be FGF
I
OGs.
feel like it has to be. All three of us involved in that series in some way.
I was gonna say, there's a bias here that you cast it. Like, surely it's a game that you cast.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, there was a small part of me that wanted to put one of the more boring series in as a joke, but you correctly identified that the award for best series does go to OGs and FGF. Let's just think back to that game, because there was two phenomenal comebacks. I think the first one was like 15k down or something, and then the other one was by no means a small feat. So, yeah.
This game won't leave me alone. It keeps coming back.
The second one in particular, I think, would, if I had done it, taken the award for best single match, because just the sheer confidence and ability of pulling off a draft like that when nobody believed. Yeah.
Even members of
Fantastic.
its own team.
Yeah.
Not
I mean, you know
believing.
what? Honorable mention and shout out to Peebo. Like, Peebo is an absolute. I don't even know how to describe him. I think like, you know, most people's, your mum would describe him as a character. Do you know what I mean? Like, Peebo's a character. Like, what the fuck was he even doing in that game? And to drag OGs kicking and streaming into that draft almost and just say, it's gonna work, shut up and let it work.
Yeah.
More like this.
Yeah, like, the second game on its own is fantastic, but the fact that the first game as well, you guys, I think you came back from like 15k down.
I didn't even know it was that bad. We were
It
always
was-
playing the
it was
comeback
really
game
bad.
that game. Like, I was always aware they were going to go early and we needed to go late. And I remember at one point just telling Vinny to fuck off and get in the jungle.
I was looking up today, and we'll come back to that why I was looking it up, but it was actually way more of a comeback than game 2. In game 2, it was like a bit of a comeback, but in terms of like how it was, game 1 was a much bigger retaliation from form. So
Game 2 just felt so bad. It was one Rax. It was one fucking Rax.
yeah, that's all you needed. But,
Right, let's
it
move on
slipped
before
away.
I start crying.
That does lead us on nicely to the next award, which is for the biggest comeback.
Is it FGF?
Do you think it was those?
Oh,
Ooh, I don't know how big our Medusa comeback
I was about to say the
actually.
Medusa comeback was
That
crazy.
That might be it for sheer like gold swing. I can't remember how far behind we were in that game, but
So this
Yeah.
is purely based off Gold Swing.
This is a
so I
trick
just looked at
question.
Who had the least? Who was at the biggest disadvantage in terms of net worth, and then won the game?
It's Moist
any-
Goblin against Lulu.
yes, the one we won
It's
earlier.
the exhibition match. I have no idea. I think we've mentioned the two it could be, but I feel like there's another secret one in the mix here.
So I'll give you a little clue. The deficit was just over 20k in terms of net worth.
Ooh.
Christ.
Who cast
Oh,
the
yeah.
game?
Could have been us. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't
It's
remember.
fine. I don't remember what I
That rules
cast
out
either.
GFG then. We got
I tell you who it definitely wasn't, and that was you, Falcus.
Oh,
Because the award for the biggest comeback
It's
goes
FGF
to
and Sit Out.
FGF, and it was against Sit Out.
I got it at the
wow.
last second.
Yeah.
I can't remember what draft
Um,
this was, but this was the one game we went into them.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Dota open, I've put the match ID in the little description. If you wanted to have a look.
I don't have Dota open at the moment, but well, we'll
we'll
check
just-
it. Well, what's the
I'm just
little
gonna load it
tagline?
up. I'm just. So
I love these
this
little additions.
was the Seething Necro, Ian Nazir on the Jug, and Catastrophe on the Brew, and you had yourself on the Pudge, Biddy on the Werter,
the Muerta, yeah. I talked about that earlier.
Yeah. This is the
yeah,
Muerta game.
Psychovert on the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
I'd also like to point out this was the Pudge game where I haunted their dreams because I think Seething told me after that Pudge hooks would just come out of nowhere because I do the dumbest. I don't know if it's the dumbest. I love it. The support Pudge build I do is you go you go Aether Lens, you go Shard, and then you just hope like hell that you get any sort of neutral that increases your cast range. And that game, I had the neutral that increases your cast range by 350. And I think I also had that. I kept a magnifying monocle and put it on top of that. So my cast range was ridiculous.
It's like the stars align for you.
Literally.
Nice.
Okay, next up.
Yeah, and that moves us on to our last award. And this is for Obnot's Play of the Tournament. This is more. So this is more just an opportunity for you guys to tell me if there's any standout plays that you recall and you just want to recount them. But I obviously have my favorite. But feel free to share with me your remembrances.
When you first announced this, I thought this was going to be like a play you made. This was like your play of the tournament, not your like pick of the tournament.
I don't think I did any good plays. So, it would be a small list to pick from.
There was a rampage at one point, I think.
Yeah, with a rampage on the Weaver.
I mean, that's got to count for something. I think there was a honestly couple great echo slams from Bernard Humperdinck against you guys.
Yeah,
like I really want to say credit where credit's due on that one. Unfortunately, I don't think the kills followed up, so I can't say play the game.
Well, I feel like we did our part in that one as well, grouping up together and giving it to him.
I'm gonna say my hook shot onto my two hook shots onto Amos to kill him on his dive back after killing him the first time today. I'm just gonna throw it in the mix.
Yeah, that was nice.
Definitely not a play on the game. I just want to mention that it happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any.
Scotteh?
I mean, recency bias again, but Door killing Vidi mid lane on the clockwork into the Ursa. I still can't actually believe that happened. I know they obviously lost the game, but we were like, what is he doing going in? And the next thing you know, Vidi's dead. I'm like, how's this happened? So things like that. I feel like the problem is with the tournament. Obviously, had a bit of a weak break. I kind of like. They're all escaping my mind. There has been some really good games.
It depends if we're saying like the play of the game is in, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, or oh my god, I can't believe this happened. Because I'm going to throw it out on the mix again. I'm going to get accused of bullying him. But Larry Mars ulting 2 illusions.
Yes.
It was phenomenal.
That happened.
Like you can forgive ulting 1 illusion. That could be the hero. But they've both just walked past you.
And the fact that I was talking about the optimal Mars ult at the time, it just makes that clip like it's like I'm literally talking about what do you want to do with the Mars ult, and then Mars ult's 2 illusions. Timing could not be better.
We'll show the clip at the end of this before we raid out onto your channel. But go on then, Obnot, put us out of our misery.
So again, this is 100% recency bias. I'm sure there were some better ones out there, but my favorite one was from Soviet Bear.
Oh yes.
In the game we just had, they were so far behind. It's just the context of it all. They're so far behind. He blinked aggressively in front of a Kunkka into 4 heroes to I can't even remember, the psychic headband the Kunkka back. It just is a scene play that I would never think to do myself. I was really blown away by it. So well done, Soviet Bear. That was a fantastic little.
It was like blinking ahead into the 4 heroes. They were defending their high ground, right, and then Scotteh were trying to retreat. So he blinks ahead, 4 like psychic headbands the Kunkka back into the rest of his team. Hexes 1, stuns the other, then drains the mana off another.
Yeah,
it's like all in like like instantly.
When they've been behind like so much as well, it's just why would you ever do that? But also fantastic.
Yeah, and I think they got a couple of kills like on the exit for Scotteh as well. We thought that might extend the game a little bit. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a really good play. Wow. That's nice.
Yeah, that's it. That's the awards.
End of the awards. That's phenomenal. So just to recap our award receivers, we've got. Let's go back to the start, just in case anybody missed anything. We've got best carry going to Sleepy Moon. That one's locked in. We've got the best support duo going to Lulu and Wurzag, the dream team. We've got most matches played by Larry Lama, standing in on it 7 matches. I mean, just a community-minded fellow, really. Teamwork. We've got longest time spent dead. Catastrophe, definitely earned. 30 minutes and 3 seconds. Try not to repeat that this evening. Best series, OGs versus FGF. I'm proud to have received that, even if it haunts my dreams. More like this, please. I mean, that's going for tonight, boys. Let's see one like that. Biggest comeback, FGF versus Sit Out. We've done all right on FGF here, actually. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Not great in terms of the tournament, but
you provided some quality Dota to watch.
Great in Obnot's mind. That's what we go for. And Obnot's play the tournament, go to Soviet Bear with the aggressive blink in and getting that psychic headband, pushing the Kunkka out, and I believe a mana drain was mentioned.
Indeed.
Well, that has been wonderful. Thank you very much, Obnot. Some phenomenal awards there.
Thank you for doing this whole stream. It's fantastic.
No, you're very welcome. Now I'm assuming, Scotty, you need to get. Are they playing at 8 or it's 5
Yeah,
past 8?
I think we've got a lobby. We've got some players filtering in. So yeah, I will set up my stream to be on like a little timer now.
Okay.
It'll be a little bit delayed, but we'll get it going.
If you set that up, and then I do have a couple of clips we can have a quick look at if you want to, and then I can raid out straight onto you.
Sounds good.
Do you guys have any predictions for tonight? While I get these up, do you got anywhere you think this is going to go?
I've got some hopes. I think, as we all do, that it goes to a game 3. They obviously they drew, I believe, in the bracket. So just more of that, I think. I'm hoping that Spherical are able to give Lulu and Wurzag a run for their money, because I feel like I'm scarred by that support team there. As I say, they got the award for the best support duo, and it's deservedly so. They've been making moves. What can Spherical do to lock that down? Hopefully, we don't see Catastrophe dead for 13 minutes again.
Right, so if you guys can see this, I will reveal to chat. First up, we have got Optimal Marzel. I mean, we all know what's coming here. We were all there.
Yeah, I think actually the Mars Vault gives you no vision if you're outside it, right?
Yes, providing they've gone for that facet.
Yeah, they have. So the optimum Mars Vault actually is not to get all 5. As they drop, oh no, they drop it again for illusions. Oh no, the Mars Vault is down. That is definitely not optimal. I hate to say.
So optimal. I'm going to actually change to let's change to this screen so we get a bigger view for you guys in chat. We get the optimal Marzel here.
Yeah, I think actually.
Unfortunately, going out onto 2 illusions. I'd like to point out that even then follow it with an ice path onto one of the illusions. So while Larry attacks this illusion here, who is this here attacking? I can't remember. But Jakira here with the ice path out onto the other illusions. The team aware there are 2 illusions there.
You can't have that illusion, getting the right clicks off. you might die.
I couldn't believe the timing on the question of what the optimal Marzult would be. Especially Larry had altered so many Marzults just off the bat. Like he got 5 5-man Marzults all over the place. Next up we have
he'd be getting some good ones.
Next up we have Legs, Broken, Clowns, Goodbye. Storming ahead, closely followed by the Pudka. Kunkka behind, Kunkka now doomed. Oh no, the Stampede and then the hook onto OBSD. Oh, now he can't catch up. As Clever Symbol finally gets killed under that tower top. Seething is going to escape in the mid lane as Larry Lama comes in to just show his medicine. So, this was a gank here coming in onto the mid lane, and they throw out the Doom. I think this was possibly one of the first Dooms in the game. And then the quick hook back from Sleepy Moon onto Obst. Then meaning they couldn't catch the Kunkka. Very gutting. All right, next clip. Oh, what was this one called? Ladies and Gentlemen, Gub. Okay. I think Gub only played 2 games. This might have been the only series he played.
I'm in his head. That's where I'm streaming from. So that probably explains your division. Oh, smoking in.
He's not thrown it. He's blinked next to him. He's now hit
He's
him.
blinked. He's refused to cast any spells.
Walks away.
And the hook goes wide. They did not get what they wanted there. Now Dire, rather Radiant.
I've not seen that before. That's so funny.
Yeah, so a great play from Gub here. He blinks in. He has Dismember available. He has Dismember. He can definitely see here because he does a right click. Refuses to Dismember, then gets stunned by the Lina, and then King trying to make this better. It's not even King, actually. Is it King? I don't know, but whoever's on the Warlock trying to make things better. Well, the two supports are stacked up here. We can't the Shaman thing, but tries to make things better by dropping the rock and the slow. Unfortunately, it's just more stuff wasted as Lina walks away.
They see her before the blink. They just don't blink anywhere near her.
Mate, this clip is gonna send me, honestly.
So this is the only one we have that's actually about the casters, not the players. But sorry,
I didn't know George Foreman was a person until he died.
Oh my God, Ben!
Again, dies.
I thought he was. I only use a Dota team.
10 seconds. The man's
my God!
The man's been gone for all of 5 minutes, and you disgrace his memory.
I didn't realize it. Okay, I didn't realize it was the same person. I think I might have heard of him once.
Ben thought George Foreman was a Dota team.
I mean, how does that make you guys feel?
Hey, listen, that's great for us. That's
like,
brand.
You named your team after the guy, but you've taken it over. You guys are now George Foreman. I mean, I don't know if it's disrespectful to say, but
yeah, this cast was incredible. They then went on to talk about like barbecues and grills for like 20 minutes, the remainder of the draft, and then like a good portion of the game.
There's a clip, I think, from this cast. I couldn't quite hear it out, so I didn't include it, but I think they all get confused thinking one of them said lesbian lovers instead of one of the spells of the heroes or something, and they're like, why are you talking about lesbians?
Yeah, that is incredible. And there's also the I think Ben then had to clarify and like fact check with his like mum or something that he had a barbecue at some point in his life. I was like, what is going on? What is this fact check? How
like
do
a
you not know
barbecue or like a George?
barbecue?
Were they explaining to you what a George Foreman grill was?
I think they ended up talking about barbecue somehow. I'm not sure how they got onto that topic of conversation. But then they were saying like he had to fact check if he had a barbecue at any point in his life.
Well, I would just like to confirm to chat. George Foreman was a person. He was I'm going to embarrass myself here. He was a boxer who then got involved in like cooking equipment. He has his own like brand, George Foreman grill, I think being synonymous with the sort of sandwich press style grill, electric grill.
Yeah.
He just had to explain who George Foreman was.
Well, I just feel like I should. He did recently die, so rest in peace, George Foreman. You have at least inspired a great Dota 2 tournament.
Nice of you to say tournament there, and not team.
Well, it's an esports organization, really. I mean, this is a clip from myself. This is Bernard Slam.
Oh, look at us grouping up.
Oh my God, the Echo Slam! Scotteh very low, they're going to manage to finish him off. Out comes the Wukong's command, but the Rupture in return. He's trying to run in, but with the wind up from the Windrunner, and he's maledicted. He's taking a decent bit of damage. They did manage to kill Braxy. Kamaya hanging around to stop anybody chasing.
Oh, Pen died to Maledict.
Pen died to Maledict. It's
but
the
how
most
you
ridiculous
dying from
thing
this
ever.
call is so true. Like, Scott, how did you live that?
Look at how low he is, and he turns around to Rupture, the absolute fucking maniac.
He just walked so slowly away as well.
He turns round here and ruptures Pen, who then dies because he gets maledicted, walks to chase, and then walks back, and then dies to maledict damage.
Yeah,
to Braxy.
I'm not sure from this freeze frame how I've survived that, if I'm honest, looking back. Seems kind of insane. Especially with the Monkey King ult being out as well.
You
like,
should have
do I
been
not
hit
get
by
tagged by
Wukongs.
any of them? Yeah.
You don't get hit by a single one. Not a single one.
Unlucky.
Absolute insanity. I mean, great play from Bernard. Just a shame the follow-up didn't quite connect. This is Oh No Bernard Humperdinck. We're on a theme at this point, yeah, to be fair. They're kind of in a weird order. Here we go. The knight, here we go.
Oh no,
He's healing off the thing.
Oh, yeah,
He's dead here. Oh no, there we go. He's got the
mech
mech.
coming out.
Sorry, he hasn't got the mech. Someone's got the
And
mech.
he's blinking away.
Oh, he's left, but he's putting Bernard Humperdinck in danger. Oh my god, honestly? I don't think Penn was doing too hot either there. So, door blinks away, and Bernard Humperdinck is left attacking it, now taking more damage, and dies to the Tormentor. I think one of the few Tormentor deaths we actually had this tournament.
Yeah.
Poor Bernard.
Oh dear.
Oh, and that's all the clips. I think there was another couple of Tormentor deaths. I think we had one on FGF, and I think there was one on one of the top teams. I think somebody had a dodgy Tormentor death at some point. But yes, anyway, that is the clips. We've slipped them in there. So actually, I think we've gotten through everything technically.
Wow.
I mean, it's
Not
good
bad at all.
going considering we got about half an hour behind earlier. But yes,
that was my stats segment, wasn't it?
yeah, but it was a good stat segment, so I was quite happy to keep it going. I'd have rushed this on if we needed to. Thank you very much, lads, for joining me.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I've very much enjoyed this, and I hope you wish you luck with a great cast. I'm gonna go have some dinner.
Thank you very much.
I have to ask, how are you holding up, Scotteh?
I'm feeling much better now than I did when I cast your game earlier. I won't lie.
Well, that's good, because let's be honest, we're guaranteed a Kunka pick, so someone better get you some rum.
Yeah, exactly. The rum buff will be coming, so let's see how we do.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for watching. I will now raid out onto Scotteh, so I will send you all there. Do not fear, and I hope you've all enjoyed. I've had a great time. I've really enjoyed myself this afternoon. So
awesome.
Right. Well, thank you very much, chat. Thank you very much, lads. And until next time, this has been Top Goon. I should probably play the outro music. I kind of forgot about that. Hey, I mean, look, we got as I said to Scotteh earlier, we had the exhibition game finalized 15 minutes before we started. So that's how tight we were because of my own stupid planning. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. And I'll send you over to the stream promptly. Good night.